Hey y'all, what's good? It is your host for this episode, Cody Stauffer here, and we got tons of action, including the KCAC Tournament here. But before we get into that, we're also going to sprinkle in some of the Sun Conference regular season games and then jump into that. And so I'm going to start off with the first one. This one's just going to be a box office recap here, as it was Thomas versus Life. This took place on April 18th at 5 p.m. And in this game, Thomas was able to kind of run away with this one, scoring 19 points in the first half and then another 21 in the second half to win 40-0 here. It looks like some of the notable contributors here was for Thomas, Tara Llorente maybe. Apologies on that. Passed for 213 yards. Giselle Jones caught for 74, and Kiana Cole caught for 42. So it looks like a mixture of some starters and some non-starters here, getting some snaps. I don't know if there's an injury or not, but I'm assuming that they just played it safe and knew that they already had a spot secured in the Sun Conference Tournament and just got some different looks in there. For Life University, Kamaya Graves leading in both passing and rushing, and then Altera Gooch here with 35 receiving yards here. So that does it for the very first game here, and now I'm going to pass it over to Gino to talk about Warner versus Keiser.
What is going on, y'all? Gino here with the Playmakers Corner podcast, and we've got a special one here as we have the number 1 PMC ranked Keiser Seahawks facing off against the number 2 PMC-ranked Warner Royals in the Sun Conference Regular Season Championship. This matchup is a long time coming, as both of these squads are unbeaten in NAIA games this year, and so they have both been in the top 3 of our power rankings for the entire season, and this will be their first matchup all year. Will the impenetrable Warner defense prevail, or will it be the high-powered Keiser offense that wins this one? This game was littered with all PMC and potential award-winning players, so let's go ahead and see what happened in this one. It will be Keiser ball here, starting off with the ball, 1st and 6. The pass along the sideline to Ashley Clam is dropped, and then on 2nd down, the pass is also incomplete. 3rd and 6 now, Jasmine Roden drops back, heaves one deep as Ashley Clam leaps up and makes an awesome grab near midfield to give the Seahawks a first down. 1st and 5 here, the star freshman rusher Talisha Perry gets to the QB and nearly gets a sack and forces an incompletion. On 2nd down, Roden hits Chloe Griffin along the sideline for a first down across midfield. 2nd and 16 here, Roden hits Adriana Rodriguez on the run, and Rodriguez pitches it back to Chloe Griffin at the last second as Griffin scorches the defense and goes all the way for a Keiser touchdown. That was an incredible play there from Rodriguez and Griffin to get Keiser up here early. It is now 7-0 after the extra point with 8:31 left in the first quarter. 1st and 6 for Warner as they prepare to answer. The first pass of the game is a weak pass that falls incomplete, and then on 2nd down, Andrea Rodriguez sails one out of bounds. 3rd and 6 now, Sophia Caprio breaks up a pass along the sideline to force Warner to punt here. 1st and 15 for Keiser following a weak punt in Warner territory. Roden launches one deep, and it is caught by Brenna Ramirez, who makes an unbelievable play there to get the ball and to give Keiser a first down in the red zone. On 1st and 7, Roden nails Sophia Caprio on a short crosser to put them near the end zone here. The pass to the end zone on 2nd down to an open receiver is just barely overthrown. 3rd and 2 now. Lauren Clark breaks up a pass for an amazing play there to make it 4th and 2. On 4th and 2, Jasmine Roden hits Brianna Hernandez Silva in the end zone for another Keiser touchdown. It is 13-0 now with 3:10 left here in the first quarter. 1st and 6 for Warner, and they really need a score here. Direct snap goes to Adriana Williams to get the Royals near the first down. 2nd and 2 here, Catherine Hutchinson finds Anna Vincenzini along the sideline to get them 1 yard short of the first down. On 3rd and 1, Hutchinson keeps it, and her flag is pulled by Samaya Bryant, but it is still good for a Warner first down. A short pass goes to Angeline Bunting for a gain of 1, and then on 2nd down, a short crosser to Bunting again gets them a couple of yards, and that sends us to the end of the first quarter here. Keiser leads Warner 13-0. Into the second quarter now. It is 3rd and 15 for Warner to start off this quarter. On 3rd down, Samaya Bryant nearly gets a pick right away, but she still forces the incompletion as the Warner punt crew is on their way out. 1st and 12 for Keiser after a couple pitches on the punt with under 11 minutes to go. On 1st down, Jasmine Roden hits Kennedy Foster on a curl route near midfield, and on 2nd down, those two connect again as Warner rushes 2, but it is still good for a Keiser first down and a nice gain. On 1st and 9, a slant to Berena Ramirez goes for 4 yards, and then on 2nd and 5, a short crosser to Adriana Rodriguez gets them a yard short of the red zone. On 3rd and 2, Adriana Williams nearly gets a sack and forces a weak pitch that falls incomplete. 4th and 2 here, Roden launches a rocket through multiple defenders to Kennedy Foster to put Keiser in the red zone. On 1st and 14, it is a Roden-Foster connection again for 4 yards. And then on 2nd down, Jasmine Roden drops a dime along the side of the end zone to Kennedy Foster once again for a Seahawks touchdown. Roden drops another dime to the back of the end zone to Foster, who makes a toe-touch diving grab to put Keiser up 20-0 here with 4:31 left in the first half. What a drive there from Jasmine Roden, Kennedy Foster, and the entire Keiser offense. 1st and 6 for Warner, down 3 scores now. Catherine Hutchinson rolls right and hits Kayla Ludwig on a curl route near the 1st down, and on 2nd down, a direct snap to Adriana Williams gets the Royals a first down. 1st and 18 here. Hutchinson rolls left, and that play is stopped after a yard by Sydney Woodman. Sarah Villarreal breaks up a pass on 2nd down to make it 3rd and 18. On 3rd down, the pass over the middle is picked off by none other than Kennedy Foster to give Keiser the ball back near the red zone. What a game from Foster here in the first half. 1st and 8 for the Seahawks with 2:30 left in the half. Brianna Hernandez-Silva makes the grab wide open, and she takes that one near the red zone. 2nd and 1 here, Talisha Perry gets a big-time sack to push Keiser back 10 yards. 3rd and 11 now, Roden drops back and hits Brenna Ramirez along the sideline for a big-time gain near the end zone. The first down direct snap to Hernandez-Silva is short of the first down, and on 2nd down, Talisha Perry gets good pressure and forces an incompletion in the end zone. 3rd and 1 for Keiser near the end zone. Roden drops back and finds a wide open Ashley Clam in the corner of the end zone for yet another Keiser touchdown. What a half from Keiser as they go up 26-0 with 42 seconds left in the half. 1st and 6 for Warner. The first down pass over the middle is picked off by Ashley Clam, and it will be Keiser ball once again to end the half. And that, folks, is where we stopped watching. Shay Crooks of Warner threw both touchdowns for the Royals in the second half, but it didn't seem to matter as Keiser gets the big-time win here over number 2 Warner, 26-12, to secure their Sun Conference regular season title. What a game from the Seahawks as Keiser gets the big win here in dominating fashion over a previously unbeaten and unblemished Warner squad. Your PMC playmaker of the game is going to none other than Jasmine Roden, who straight up dominated the first half with 4 touchdowns. And yeah, it was just another signature performance for her to add to her MVP campaign. It was also another awesome game from Kennedy Foster and Ashley Clam, who both had 1 touchdown and 1 interception on defense to help get Keiser their first regular season conference championship since the inaugural season of NAIA flag football. Keiser will now be hosting the Sun Conference Tournament next week from April 25th to April 27th. The Seahawks will host Weber International on Saturday, April 20th for their final regular season game. Game time is set for 4 p.m. And then prior to the game, Keiser will honor seniors Brianna Hernandez Silva, Sydney Woodman, and Adriana Rodriguez for their contributions to the Seahawks program. Awesome win for the Seahawks, and congrats again to them on their regular season conference title. Now for Warner, that was a pretty disastrous game from them, plain and simple. Going down 26-0 in the first half is flat out inexcusable, and they were just flat out getting exposed on both sides of the ball, especially on offense. I really expected their defense to put up more of a fight in this one, but they really just couldn't seem to get any sort of meaningful stops in the first half. They were getting some good pressure on Roden from Talisha Perry and Adriana Williams, but the rest of the defense just seemed to be asleep in the first half. There really isn't much to say on the offensive side of the ball either. That offense is quite concerning, and it is quite clear now that the Royals have been leaning on that dominant defense to keep them in games. Is Warner still a threat? Absolutely. But I don't think I can justify a top 2 ranking for them anymore after seeing them flat out disappear against the top team in the nation. And that about wraps up this recap of the Sun Conference Regular Season Championship. This is Gino with the Playmakers Corner podcast, and I will see you all in the next recap. Peace out.
Thank you, Gino. And we will pass it back to Gino here in just a minute. But first, I'm going to go ahead and talk about Milligan versus Campbellsville. And then I'm also going to just squeeze in St. Thomas versus FMU. I know it's a little out of order, but then that way we can get to Gino for Weber versus Keiser and then talk KCAC all after that. And so in this Milligan game here, it's going to be Milligan's final home game here against Campbellsville, and they are actually going to get the lead here when Bridget Keiser finds Abilene LaPrace here with Milligan leading now 7-0 heading into the second half. And then in the second half here, it was an incredible one-handed catch by Caitlin Quinn. Shout out to WJHL for posting this footage and doing a little news clip on it because it was so smooth, honestly. And then the PAT was no good here, but the squad did lead 13-0, and then in the rest of the game, they'd score a couple more times and finish the game 26-0 here over Campbellsville here. This is going to be kind of a big one for the power rankings here, as Milligan desperately needed to get back on the right track here, and Campbellsville continuing to show a little bit of inconsistency here. And then I don't got a box score for you on this one, but St. Thomas wins the second Battle of Miami Gardens here on senior night over Florida Memorial University. This one with a very similar score to earlier in the season, as they win 14-0 here and complete the shutout, scoring a couple less touchdowns than their earlier battle in February here, but St. Thomas still getting the W over Florida Memorial. Now, going to go ahead and pass it to Gino on Weber versus Keiser, and then you will be hearing back from me once we get into the KCAC tournament.
How's it going, everyone? Gino here with the Playmakers Corner podcast, and it is time for a recap of the game between the number 1 PMC ranked Keiser Seahawks and the number 7 PMC ranked Weber International Warriors from Saturday, April 20th. Keiser is fresh off a win against Warner on Thursday for the Sun Conference Regular Season Championship and are looking to continue that momentum going into next week's Sun Conference Tournament. Weber has fared well for the most part against Sun Conference teams, so it will be interesting to see how they do against the top dog in the nation. With that all being said, let's go ahead and jump right into this recap. Starting off in the first quarter here, Weber will start off with the ball here in the game, 1st and 6. First down pass to Caitlin Sigmundi gets Weber near the first down, and on second down, a curl route to Sigmundi gets them the first down. First and 17 here, the QB Samantha Wilson rolls left and hits Zoe Mello in stride over the middle for a big gain across midfield. First and 9 here for the Warriors, a short crosser goes for 4 yards, and then on second down, Wilson hits Riley Bolser along the sideline for a first down into the red zone. First and 16 now for the Warriors. Samantha Wilson hits Caitlin Sigmundi on a curl route, and she sneaks into the end zone for a Weber touchdown. It looked like Keiser absolutely whiffed on some flagpoles there, and Wilson faked the throw and took it in herself on the extra point, so Weber now leads 7-0 with 8:55 left here in the first quarter. First and 6 for Keiser as they prepare to answer. Jasmine Roden hits Brenna Ramirez on a curl route, and she takes that for a nice gain and first down for the Seahawks. Roden missed a receiver on a deep post, and then on second and 10, Roden flips it to Brianna Hernandez Silva on a check down, and she takes that for 8 yards. Third and 2 here, Roden narrowly avoids a sack, rolls right, and hits Chloe Griffin in stride for a first down across midfield. First and 12 now, Roden rolls left and flips it to Brenna Ramirez, who then flips it to Brianna Hernandez Silva, who takes that into the red zone for about 16 yards there. First and 16 now for Keiser. Roden throws a dangerous quick pass, and it is caught by Brianna Hernandez Silva for about 6 yards. On second down, Roden drops back and nails Kennedy Foster in the end zone for a Keiser touchdown. It is now 7-6 with 5:17 left in the game as the extra point pass was batted down. First and 6 for Weber as they try and add some cushion to their lead. The first down pass is swatted out of the receiver's hands by Sarah Villarreal, who makes a great play on the ball there. On second down, Emma Wagenman gets a big-time sack to make it 3rd and long. 3rd and 10 now, Wilson drops back and throws a dangerous pass on a post route, and it is nearly picked by Lysandra Amore, who forces the incompletion as the Weber punt crew will be coming out here. First and 8 for Keiser across midfield after the punt return with a big opportunity to get their first lead of the game with 3:45 left in the first. Roden is forced to check it down to Hernandez Silva, but a hold on the play pushes Keiser back 10 yards. First and 21 now following the flag. Roden hits Ashley Clam for a big gain to get those yards back. Second and 7 now. Good pressure from Jasmine Henry forces Roden to throw it away. And on third down, Roden dots up Chloe Griffin on the curl route for a first down into the red zone. First and 19 now. The ball is tipped by Riley Bolser as it leaves Roden's hands, and it is picked off by Jasmine Henry as she flips it back to Bolser on the return, and Bolser takes it all the way for a clutch pick 6. What a play from Riley Bolser and Jasmine Henry there for a crazy turn of events to help put Weber up 13-6 with 1:01 left here in the first quarter. First and 6 for Keiser as they try and tie this one up. Jasmine Roden rolls out left and somehow finds a crossing Kennedy Foster in tight coverage along the sideline for a toe touch catch and first down. On first and 13, Roden steps up and throws a bullet to Chloe Griffin on a curl route for 7 yards. And then on second down, Roden surveys and decides to keep it for 8 yards. And that takes us to the end of the first quarter. Weber leads number 1 Keiser 13-7 after the first. First and 19 across midfield for Keiser to start off the second quarter. Roden finds Adriana Rodriguez for 10 yards. And then on second down, Roden fakes to get the rusher to jump and keeps it for a big-time first down into the red zone. First and 19 now for Keiser. Roden rolls out right and hits an open Adriana Rodriguez for 8 yards. And then on second down, Roden rolls right again and this time finds Chloe Griffin for a nice gain near the end zone. 3rd and 2 here for the Seahawks. A bootleg to the right as Jasmine Roden throws a bullet to a wide open Chloe Griffin in the end zone for a Seahawk touchdown. Roden then hit Brenna Ramirez in stride for the extra point, and that ties this one up at 13 with 9:12 left in the half. First and 6 for Weber as they try and take this lead back. Samantha Wilson nails an open Caitlin Sigmundi on a curl route for a first down. On 1st and 14, Emma Wagenman had the sack, but the refs say that Wilson got that check down off in time, but it is a loss for yards anyway. 2nd and 15 now, Wilson rolls right and hits Caitlin Sigmundi again along the sideline for a nice gain. 3rd and 3 here, tight coverage from Sydney Woodman forces an incompletion along the sideline. Weber decides to go for it here on 4th and 3 near midfield. Wilson takes the snap as Keiser rushes to, and the pass from Wilson falls incomplete for a turnover on downs with under 6 minutes left. 1st and 18 for Keiser to start their drive. Haley Young is under center at QB, and her pass to Kennedy Foster falls short. And then on 2nd down, it's Haley Young again as she drops back and heaves it deep to Ashley Clam in stride. And Clam scorches the defense for a Keiser touchdown. And that is her 17th of the year. The extra point is then caught by Kennedy Foster to give Keiser a 20-13 lead here with 5:02 left in the half. 1st and 6 for Weber now. Another pass to Caitlin Sigmundi along the sideline gets them a first down. 1st and 19 here for the Warriors. Samantha Wilson hits Jasmine Henry on a quick out for 4 yards. And then on 2nd down, Emma Wagenman deflects the pass on the pressure to make it 3rd and 15. On 3rd down, Wilson drops back and launches one deep as Caitlin Sigmundi beats her defender deep and catches it in stride for a big-time first down into the red zone for the Warriors. 1st and 20 now, Wilson hits Zoe Mello along the sideline for 7 yards. And then on 2nd down, a quick hitter to Jasmine Henry gets them another yard. 3rd and 11 for the Warriors with just over a minute left. Wilson rolls right, and the pass to an open Sigmundi that would have gone for an easy touchdown is somehow dropped. 4th and 15 now as Weber calls timeout here with 57 seconds left in the half. 4th and 15 for the Warriors as they look to tie this one up following the timeout. Wilson takes the snap, and her pass along the sideline is batted down by Sophia Caprio to force a turnover on downs. Truly disastrous that they couldn't get the touchdown on the play before the timeout, especially with Keiser getting the ball to start the second half. 1st and 9 for Keiser with 52 seconds left. Roden rolls out right and launches one deep to a crossing Kennedy Foster, who's wide open, but Foster is unable to bring in the diving catch near midfield. Roden then hit Hernandez Silva to get them near the first down. 3rd and 2 now. Roden finds Chloe Griffin, who runs it out of bounds for a Seahawks first down with 34 seconds left. On 1st and 15, the pass to the sideline is caught, but Chloe Griffin is out of bounds on the catch. And then on 2nd down, Roden fakes and makes a rusher jump, but her pass over the middle is incomplete. On 3rd and 15, Roden checks it down to Hernandez Silva, who takes that for a gain of 10, but she dropped her shoulder there, so the ball will be going back to make it 3rd and 13, as Keiser calls timeout here with 17 seconds on the clock. On 3rd down, Roden rolls out right, and her pass along the sideline sails out of bounds, as the Keiser punt crew will be forced to come out here. 1st and 5 near midfield for the Warriors following the punt with 5 seconds left, and they are unable to get into the end zone on that play. So that will take us to the end of the first half. Keiser leads Weber International 20-13 at the break. It is 1st and 6 for Keiser to start off the third quarter here. Jasmine Roden finds Ashley Clam on a short crosser, and that's good for the first down. On 1st and 18, Roden fires one to Chloe Griffin on a deep post, and Griffin makes the diving grab there for a 12-yard gain. On 2nd and 6, Roden keeps it rolling with a slant to Kennedy Foster, who takes that one across midfield for a big-time first down. On 1st and 11, Brianna Hernandez Silva makes the catch on a screen and takes that one for a first down into the red zone. On 1st and 12, Roden flips one to Brenna Ramirez under pressure for 5 yards. And on 2nd and 7, Roden drops back and quickly finds Adriana Rodriguez wide open, and she takes that one in for a Keiser Seahawks touchdown. Ashley Clam then made a heavily contested catch for a 2-point conversion to make it 28-13 with 8:59 left here in the third quarter. 1st and 6 for Weber to start off their first drive of the half as they try and stay in this one. The first down pass goes to Kaylin Sigmundi along the sideline for a first down. On 1st and 14, Samaya Bryant nearly gets a sack, but Henry is able to hit the center Leah Bailey in stride for a 13-yard gain to put the Warriors near midfield. On 2nd and 1, Samantha Wilson is able to throw it past the diving hands of Kennedy Foster as Jasmine Henry makes the grab for 11 yards and a first down. 1st and 9 now for the Warriors. Wilson's pass on a short crosser is dropped. And then on 2nd down, Emma Wagenman forces a weak check down pass that is caught, but it'll be a loss of 3 yards. 3rd and 12 here. The rusher trucks the blocker, and that will be a big-time flag. So it is 3rd and 2 now for Weber following the flag. Jasmine Henry takes a quick hitter for a first down into the red zone. 1st and 14 now. Delay of game on Weber pushes them back 5 to make it 1st and 19. On first down, Wilson throws a dangerous pass directly into the defender's hands, but it is somehow dropped to make it 2nd and long. On 2nd and 19, Wilson is flushed out right and launches one to the end zone, but it is over the wrong shoulder of the receiver to make it 3rd and 19. On 3rd and long, the pass on the short crosser is overthrown somehow as this Weber offense just cannot help themselves out in the red zone. On 4th and long, with just under a minute to go here in the third quarter, Wilson hits Zoe Mello on a skinny post in stride, but that will be 7 yards short of the end zone, and it will be a turnover on downs here. 1st and 12 for Keiser to start their drive. A quick hitter to Kennedy Foster as she cuts back to avoid the flagpole, and she flips it back to Brenna Ramirez, who then flips it back to Chloe Griffin for a huge gain across midfield. And that, folks, takes us to the end of the third quarter. 1st and 19 for the Seahawks to start the final quarter of the game as they try and put this game completely away. Jasmine Roden finds Ashley Clam on a curl route for 8 yards. And then on 2nd down, another quick curl to Clam gets them 7 yards. On 3rd and 3, it is the same play as Ashley Clam takes the catch, cuts inside, and goes untouched for another Keiser touchdown and her 2nd of the day, folks. Clam is having an incredible game and season in general as that touchdown puts this game away, and that gives Keiser a 34-13 lead with 10:31 left in the game. 1st and 6 here for Weber. A quick out to Kaylin Sigmundi gets them a few yards, but she ducked her shoulder there, so it will end up being a loss. 1st and 10 now for the Warriors. Wilson hits Sigmundi along the sideline, and a hold on the flagpole gives them some extra yards to make it 1st and 10 for the Warriors. On 1st down, Wilson rolls out left and finds Jasmine Henry, who takes it across midfield, plus another holding penalty on Keiser makes it 1st and 20 for Weber inside the red zone. A pass to Sigmundi along the sideline gives the Warriors about 8 yards. And then on 2nd down, Wilson's pass to the end zone is picked off in the end zone by Sophia Caprio to give the ball back to the Seahawks. And that would do it in this one, folks, as number 1 Keiser caps off their perfect regular season with a 40-13 win over number 7 Weber. The final touchdown of the game went to Brenna Ramirez to put the Seahawks at 40. So that would be your final score in this one. After falling behind 13-7 in the first quarter, the Seahawks went on a 33-0 run to get the 40-13 win over number 7 ranked Weber. Just an awesome way to end the regular season, and your PMC Playmaker of the game is going to Ashley Clam for her 2-touchdown performance to cap off a freshman season that no one will soon forget. She has added some amazing value for the best team in the country, and is on the radar for a couple awards this year for sure. It was also a great game from Jasmine Roden, of course. She has been unbelievable this season as well. And then you also had Kennedy Foster, Brenna Ramirez, Brianna Hernandez Silva, and Adriana Rodriguez continuing to dominate in this one as well. The defense really settled down after the first quarter as Emma Wagenman was getting pressure all game to mess up a lot of Weber's plays. Congrats to Keiser on a nice win to end their perfect regular season. Next, they will be hosting the Sun Conference Tournament next week, starting on April 25th. Now for Weber International, yikes. Judging by the score, you would have never thought that this team jumped out to a 13-7 lead. And then on top of that, they also could have tied the game up at 20 before halftime, but a drop completely ruined that possibility. There were drops all over the field for the Warriors, actually, and it really seemed that the only plays that were working for them was the curl route along the sideline to Kaylin Sigmundi and relying on Jasmine Henry to get yards after the catch on quick hitters. They still worked their way into the red zone multiple times in this game and could have made this game a hell of a lot closer, but the execution and play calling in the red zone really seemed to keep the Warriors from getting that done. They have a ton of playmakers on both sides of the ball, and I could honestly see them getting an upset in the tournament, but this game was a bust for them for sure. And that about wraps up this recap. This is Gino with the Playmakers Corner podcast, and I will see you all in the next recap where I go over what happened in the KCAC Tournament semifinals between Baker and Kansas Wesleyan. Peace out.
Hey everybody, what's good? It is one of your co-hosts for this episode, Cody Stoffer here, and we had a big old tournament this past weekend here in the KCAC conference here. So that would be 7 teams seeded 1 through 7 with the regular season champ Ottawa Braves getting a bye. And then in order of games and seeds, we had the 3 seed versus the 6 seed Baker versus Cotty game. Following that one, we hopped over to the 4 versus 5 seed, which was the 4 seed being the Midland Warriors and the 5 seed being Southwestern College. And then the 2 versus 7 seed after that, which was KWU versus University of St. Mary's. That would make up the quarterfinals of the KCAC tournament. And so we're going to start with the very first game of Baker versus Cotty here. Baker came into this at a 11-4 record as the 3 seed, and then Cotty came in at 6-11 prior to this game. And so Cotty is going to get the ball to start here. They got a lot of potential running backs in the backfield, but is a direct run for a very minimal game, and it's a great flagpole by the defender. And then on just the second play of the game, the Comets roll out right and pass out, and it is going to be intercepted by number 12, Faith Phillips. That is a name to keep in mind down the line in this game, but Faith Phillips, the freshman defensive back here, makes the interception. Now Baker is in Cotty territory to start just a minute into the game, and the very first play, it is a pass fired over the middle to Jalen Harris, number 11, who makes a defender miss and wins the sprint to the pylon, scoring on play number 1 on a throw from Sanijah Waller, my apologies. And on the PAT, it is another pass from Waller, this time to Destiny Martinez, that puts Baker up 7-0 with just 10:24 still left in the first quarter. So barely any time has rolled off this clock, and it is an early Baker lead. Now, Cotty will get the ball here and start off with a false start and then call a small keeper left. There's then a pass over the middle for a first down here, and I believe that was a pass to Kenzie Murdoch, the snapper. Now, on first down, past their own 20-yard line, it's incomplete. But on second down and a ways to go, they pass right and pick up about 2 yards. And on third down here, it is going to be an incompletion. They'll have to punt. So an interception on their first drive and a 3-and-out on their second drive. And Baker is just about 5 or so yards from midfield in their own territory. Waller keeps herself and gains a few yards before a flagpole from Kenzie Murdoch. And now they're only 1 yard shy of the first down, and they throw to Harris on the left side of the field, making the catch for a first down. Now they're at about the 27-yard line going in, and Waller goes left, making a defender miss, and then pitches to Zabaleta, who finishes the run inside of the Cotty red zone, and it's 1st and goal here for the Wildcats, and their first play is a pass to Martinez, who picks up 4 yards here. A few passes happen on the next play and some trickery, but that only yields a yard short of the end zone here. And then on 3rd and goal, Waller passes to Harris, but the Comets make an excellent flag pull, stopping them short of the end zone. And now it is 4th down with 3:30 left in the first quarter, and the snap goes to Waller, who just keeps it herself and scores, and then gets it to Martinez on the following play, putting Baker up 14-0 early in this game. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here, and, a great performance by the plays here. Now, Cotty here is going to get the ball here, and it's a keeper that picks up a first down, and then the following play is going to be a throw for a few yards here. And now it's 2nd down with 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go here, now past their own 20-yard line, and it's a swing pass right with plenty of green ahead, and that is going to be Tamiah Squire picking up another first down here for the Comets, now in Baker territory for the first time today. Now, there's a pass left to Squire that picks up another 4 or 5 yards, and then a pass over the middle is highly contested, but is brought in by Murdoch on a top-shelf reaching grab. Now, on 3rd and 11 here, the first quarter is going to end, and once we flip fields, it's going to be a pass play here for the Comets, where they drop back and they pass it, but that's going to be Gabriella Zabaleta on the interception here. So now, out of the 3 drives, there's 2 interceptions and a punt and Baker ball here. On 2nd down, Waller scrambles left and bobs and weaves for a first down, and now all of a sudden, the Wildcats only have 1st and 4 until the Cotty red zone here. They shift at the beginning of the play, or prior to the play here, and then Waller throws a swing right that is unfortunately dropped. Waller then throws left to 10, and 10 tries to lateral it, or the ball just pops up in the air, one of the two, but either way, it is Tamiah Squire who ends up with the ball in her hands and catches it and runs ahead, almost getting to about midfield here. But a holding call on Baker will now give Cotty the ball in Baker territory, and they're about on the 30-ish yard line heading in. They pass to Tolentino, who picks up a few yards, and then they are back on the line very quickly and throw left to Squire, who kind of trucks the defender, but Baker is flagged for illegal contact, and now Cotty is in the red zone here from about the 5-yard line. They got Amaya Karula in here, who throws right, and the flagpole is actually for a loss on the swing pass here. Now on 2nd and goal, it's a pass to Tamiah Squire here, but a clutch flagpole by Zabaleta saves the touchdown. It's now 3rd and goal from about the 2 or 3 yard line, and Karula throws left, and I want to say it's number 10 for Baker here. That's going to be Loegan Hearn, I want to say. I know it's Hearn for the last name, so apologies on butchering the first name probably, but that's a pass breakup. And now on 4th and goal here, with the best chance of the day and still down by 2 scores, Cotty lines up here, and they are going to attempt to pass, but it is unfortunately going to sail and hit the dirt here with a turnover on downs. And so now Baker has the ball inside of their own 5-yard line, and they throw a quick pass right that is caught here with just under 5 minutes to go in the half. They then pass it left to Harrison, who has blockers in front of her, and now they're just 2 or 3 yards shy of the first down. On 3rd down, however, the pass over the middle is broken up, and then it is 4th down for Baker inside of their own territory, and they are going to go for it. And Waller passes over the middle, and that bounces off of the hands of the receiver into the waiting hands of Tamiah Squire, who takes it to the house here. While the PAT is no good, that's an electric play by Tamiah here to make the game 6-14 here. Side note for the receiver who dropped the ball, get on your horse and try and make a flagpole instead of putting your hands on your head and letting a pick turn into a pick 6 here. But Tamiah Squire heads up play, and now the Comets within striking distance of Baker, courtesy of the defense. And the defense is going to come back here and play hard again as they force an incompletion and keep the gains pretty minimal here. And on 3rd down and 2, following the 2-minute warning, Waller is going to throw over the middle and get intercepted by number 13, Angelina Cruz. So back-to-back drives for Baker result in interceptions, and Willie Perez, the coach of Baker, does not look happy about this decision-making, the drops, or anything going the wrong way for the Wildcats here. And so Cotty is now going to have a chance to tie or be down by only a single point here with 1:50 to go in the half. Now, the first down play is a pass from Karula outright to 6 for a first down. Number 6 on that Cotty roster, of course, being listed as Laurencia Bots on the play here. And now it is going to be first down, and it's an empty set where Karula is going to run and keep it herself. But number 9 of Baker here, Janae Ferdinand, makes an incredible diving flagpole that keeps the gain to 2 when really it was probably going to be a 7 or 8 yard gain. Cotty does take a timeout here with just a hair over a minute to go in the half, and following the timeout, Karula is going to roll right and throw right, but it's going to be intercepted by Destiny Martinez here. It is her name popping up again, and now Baker's going to have the ball with under a minute to go inside of their own 20-yard line. Now, trying not to replicate the mistakes of the first half here, Baker's going to be pretty conservative here with Waller keeping right and getting her flag pulled just shy of the first down. And then on 2nd and 3, Waller is going to run and get past the first before pitching back to Martinez, whose flag appears to be pulled, but apparently some controversy on this play as it is shown or reacted to by the Baker sideline that a different player's flag fell out. However, the officials did blow the play dead before a rest of a massive gain. And unfortunately, with 8 seconds left, Baker's just going to basically take this to halftime here. Arguably could have had a chance to go up 20-6 here, but all is well that ends well, because Baker will start with the football and have a chance to avenge this missed opportunity, courtesy of perhaps the Zebras on here. It was a little hard to tell just because the camera didn't track the entire play here, but regardless, Baker's going to start off with the ball here, and they are on a mission as they have a jet motion and pitch to Harrison, who picks up a first down on their very first play to about the 23 or 24-yard line. On first down here, outside of their own red zone, Waller passes left to Hearn, who makes a move and gets her flagpole just 3 yards shy of midfield. So 2 plays, 2 big chunks is what I'm trying to get out here. And on 2nd down, Waller is going to take a deep shot, but number 14, Chanel Norris here of Cotty, does make a good play on the ball and breaks it up and forces Baker on 3rd down to call a Waller keeper, where she scrambles left and picks up a first down. Baker, just narrowly eclipsing the midway point, is on the 39-yard line going in, and Waller is going to keep herself and cut inside, gaining about 14 yards, heading from right to left, by the way. On 2nd down, the Wildcats are lined up in tight, and Waller's going to throw over the middle to number 5, Kayla Harrison, reeling it in, and that will set up 3rd down and 3. Waller will then look over the middle again, but Squire's going to break up the pass attempt here and force a 4th down and 3 until the Cotty red zone here. And the initial play is going to be a pass right to number 8, Gabriella Zabaleta, but she makes a pitch to number 5, Harrison, who sprints down the right sideline and into the promised land for the score here. Now putting Baker up 20-6 here, and on the PAT, it is going to be a pass left that is going to be intercepted by Angelina Cruz, her 2nd interception of the game. She tries to run it back, but eventually gets her flag pulled, and that makes the PAT no good. So Cotty now has the ball down 20-6 with about 5.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Harris is going to keep it up the middle for a first down here just to get them some breathing room, and then a pass right is to 17, but Zabaleta makes a great and awesome flagpole, keeping the gain shorter than it probably should have been. Murdoch then has a catch over the middle that sets up 3rd and 9 here. On 3rd and 9, it is going to be a pass to Juliet Johnson here that sets up 4th and 4. This is Harris, by the way, putting in work and stringing together some completions here. Now on 4th down and 4, Cotty comes out in shotgun here with a running back to the right of the quarterback. And I thought that this might be a play action. I thought this might be a read option or an RPO, but I am not super stoked about calling a run play on 4th and 4 here. That does get stopped short. That's going to be Kenya Arias here, as well as Janae Ferdinand, both around the ball carrier with the flagpole, forcing a turnover on downs and giving Baker the ball on the 39-yard line of Cotty's own territory. And so Baker here, they are going to try and put this game out of reach and they're going to call a pass right to Zabaleta, who pitches right, and along with the pitch and a holding penalty, that's going to have the Wildcats with the ball inside of the Cotty red zone in just one play. Waller then throws to Kayla Harrison, and on second down and goal from just inside the 10-yard line, they throw a swing pass right, but that's going to be pulled pretty quickly by Cotty here. And on third down and goal, Waller is going to throw into traffic over the middle, and it's going to be caught by Jalen Harris for the score in the back of the end zone. It was a great find, great job using her eyes, and Harris with a great catch in the back of the end zone here. But Angelina Cruz is going to get another interception and return this a bit closer to midfield before getting her flag pulled, making sure that the PAT is no good. However, Baker does have a 20-point lead as we start to head into the fourth quarter, or get close to the fourth quarter, I should say. And so Cotty with the ball here is going to get an incompletion here via a great Wildcat defense and on the pass rush, that is. And then on second down, Baker's going to bring two, and Cotty's going to get a check down that picks up just a few yards. Now, in third and 2 here, Alyssa Hollis is going to keep herself up the middle and get a first down to the 24-yard line. Now, it's first down with 30 seconds left in the third quarter, and there's a pass right that doesn't gain too much to end the quarter here. And so on second down to start the fourth here, Cotty's going to come out and shotgun, drop back to pass, and Destiny Martinez is going to get there in time for the sack here, setting up 3rd and 18 for Cotty here. And this third down is not going to be successful, forcing Cotty to punt down by 20. And this punt is not the best special teams showing here, as Baker gets the ball on their own 37-yard line via a high punt that looked like a fair catch. You know, I think that Destiny Martinez was not trying to intend a fair catch, but she stuck one arm up in the sky. So they get a first down on their first play anyhow, and they're past midfield anyway. They're now on the Cotty 31-yard line, and Waller motions play action and throws deep left to Faith Phillips, who mosses the defender and just waltzes into the end zone, putting Baker up 32-6. The PAT is no good, but that is probably the backbreaker here. Cotty now trying to play for a little bit of pride here. And, you know, they pick up a first down on their second play here with a pass left. Then there's a pass to number 3, Julia Johnson, in the middle, who picks up about 4 or 5 yards. On second down and 12, they throw a check down for about 2, and Baker burns a timeout here as they were not able to get some substitutes out in time. Johnson makes another catch over the middle, setting up 4th down and 3, and then a pass right to one of their best playmakers, Tamaya Squire, gets the first down. Now there's pass left to a Comet, who goes shooting up the left sideline for a big gain inside of the Baker 10-yard line. I want to say that they credited Shamise Lee with this catch over the broadcast, and they go right back to her on the next play here to get the Comets just a little bit closer to the goal line here. And with 5 minutes and 11 seconds to go, they hand off here to Carry-On Cloyd here, who gets the score and makes it 12-32 here with just over 5 to go here. Now, Baker, on their very first play, gained 5 yards, and on 2nd and 1, they hand off to Ortega on the very same play here, and that is going to pick up a first down all the way to about the 33-yard line. And Gabriela Ortega with back-to-back good runs here for the Wildcats, just trying to wind this clock out. Now it's first down and 6 until midfield, and the Wildcats are taking their time getting snaps off, and Waller keeps right and gets past midfield to about the Comet 31-yard line. And Baker is just running the ball however they want to here, and the Cotty linebackers just can't seem to keep up with these ball carriers here. And Waller on first down picks up another chunk of yards before passing it to Zabaleta on the very next play, who gets a first down. It's 19 yards until pay dirt, and the 2-minute warning will occur. There's a quick dump to number 9, who dances ahead for a nice gain, setting up the Wildcats at about the 15. On second down, Waller keeps it herself and somehow splits defenders and jukes 2 more on the way to the final nail in the coffin here. And Baker will end up winning this contest 38-12 to advance to the semis here, where they will await the winner of Kansas Wesleyan and University of St. Mary. But just some final box score-ish for you guys here to talk about some of the notable performance. Look, for the Cotty side, obviously not the way that they wanted the season to end, but, I think Alyssa Hollis showed some promising things here, going 23 of 31 for 136 yards, no touchdowns and 2 picks, but that's a solid completion percentage here. And Tamaya Squire was leading the way with 7 of those receptions. And then Kenzie Murdoch in her final season and in her final KCAC tournament game, getting 5 receptions for 18 yards here. And then obviously on the defensive side of the ball, Tamaya Squire with 2 registered interceptions, 36 return yards, and that pick 6. And then Angelina Cruz getting that 1 interception in regulation and then the 2 interceptions on the PAT attempts. Too bad those were not notched on here. And Kenzie Murdoch led all comments with 7 total flag pulls. Shamise Lee had the only flag pull for loss here, and then breakups with Tamaya Squire as well. Now, to flip over to the winning side here, talk about some of the notable performers of Baker. Obviously, Sinijah Waller here with an incredible game, going 19 of 28 for 207 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 3 picks, while also adding almost 100 yards on the ground and a rushing touchdown as well. It was Kayla Harrison and Zabaleta doing the majority of the damage here with 11 combined receptions for nearly 100 yards. And then Jalen Harris reeling in 2 touchdowns, and Faith Phillips with the Most 1 reception for 48 yards, as well as the early interception in the game here, along with the defensive efforts of Zabaleta and Martinez. A lot of the same names for the Wildcats taking care of business here. On the defensive side of the ball, you had Destiny Martinez, who had a sack, and then you had Kenya Arias here, number 7, who had 2 flag pulls for loss here, and then a pass breakup, as well as leading the team with Zabaleta with 8 total flag pulls. So, great game by Baker here, and, they get another chance to play a little bit later in the day here against the winner of K-Dub and USM, and that is going to be Baker beating Cotty College 38-12 for the final score. Thank you guys for tuning in, and continue to stay with me here as we head to the very next matchup of Midland and Southwestern. Welcome back ever so shortly here to the Playmakers Corner podcast, where we are continuing to talk about the quarterfinal games in the KCAC tournament, and obviously we will follow it up with action from the semis and the championship. But in this quarterfinal matchup, it is the 4th seed Midland Warriors facing off against the 5th seed Southwestern College here. And so, you know what? Let's go ahead and just jump right into it. The Warriors will start with the football here. And this game kind of got off to a slow start here. Southwestern bringing 2 rushers on the first 2 plays here and forcing 2 incompletions to start this drive. And so Southwestern is going to make a swap here, getting number 13 out there on the defense to try and make a play here. And regardless here, it's going to be number 24, Tegan Smith here, who sacks Angel Ione here and will force a 3rd down and out, or a 3 and out for the Warriors here. Now, looking ahead, there's a terrible punt on this play that sets up Southwestern just outside of the Midland red zone, which is kind of crazy here. And the first play is a pass rolling right, almost sacked by 10 on the pressure, and wishes she probably was sacked, honestly, because the result of the play is an interception here made by Patterson of the Warriors and returned here to about the 26 or so heading in. So flipping fields entirely with the interception here, and Southwestern just getting a tough start after a great opportunity, honestly, and that was Lila Elizalde here on the pressure here that gives Midland the ball, like I said, on the 26 here. However, 3 consecutive poor passes and drops and or not catches and or incomplete, whatever you want to dial it up to, sets up 4th down and 6 or 7 here. And it's going to be Southwestern sending 10 and 24. That's Dooley and Smith on the rush. They bite on the pump fake, but Angel Kyle here loses the football, and the fumble will result in a turnover on downs here for the Warriors and give Southwestern the ball just 7 yards away from the midfield from where the ball landed. Now, Southwestern here, they come out and run a fake jet right, speed option left, and Solis botches the pitch here. And then on the next play, it's going to be a pass to Dooley that sets up third down at about 4. And the direct snap to Solis up the middle is going to narrowly pick up the first down upon her reaching her arm out. Now, there's a pass left here to number 1, Aliyah Hansen here, who picks up a handful of yards and sets up about 2nd and 11 here. But the handoff to midfield is going to be fumbled, and it's going to be no gain. And on third down, Solis is going to take a shot down the right sideline that's incomplete. And so Southwestern here will now punt the football. And on the punt here, they're going to put Midland inside of their own 3-yard line at about their 1-yard line here. It's a great punt here, a coffin corner as labeled by the announcer. And on first down, it is almost an interception as the pass just comes in a little bit behind. Now, they come out in a bunch formation, the Warriors that is, and take a shot downfield that's just a little overthrown. And it is now 3rd and 19. And Solis makes a nice pass breakup on a deep shot downfield. And they have to punt from their own 1-yard line. And it gives Southwestern the ball with about 1:38 in the first quarter at about the 31 or 32-yard line. And they come out and pass quickly to Tegan Smith, who picks up decent yardage on a pass right. And it's about 2nd and 6 here. And Southwestern is going to take a timeout and discuss what they want to do here. And they call a jet sweep left to Dooley, who picks up the first down and ends the first quarter. Now, on first down in the first play of the second quarter is going to be a play-action roll right. And Solis throws right, but the pass is going to be dropped. And now it is 2nd and goal from the 17-yard line. There's a quick pass to Dooley over the middle, but following that is an incompletion and is now 4th down here. Solis is going to keep herself here and make a defender miss, but then 2 Warriors of Dominguez, Millsop, and Patterson are a wall and making the pull for the stop and forcing the turnover on downs here. But Midland is going to start this drive also inside of their own 5-yard line. They got some motion into the backfield and dial up a speed option right pitch to Livingston, who picks up a few yards. Midland now moving left to right here, has some time on the pass, and Angel here is going to find one of her receivers for 14 yards over the middle with a nice gain, leaving only about a yard or 2 until the first down. On third down here, Kaio has room and runs up herself and then pitches to Jocelyn Lopez, who sprints ahead up the right sideline, getting Midland to the 39-yard line, and a first down is now easily within reach following picking up this first one. Midland hurries up to the line, and Kaio passes right to Alyssa Butler, who picks up a first down, and a flag on Southwestern here is going to push the Warriors all the way to the 21-yard line of Southwestern here. Now piecing together a great drive from just inside their 5-yard line, it looks like Midland is finally starting to piece it together and might be able to end the era of goose eggs that is plaguing this first half of football. But let's go ahead and continue with the drive here. And it's first down and barely a yard here. They have an orbit motion leaking out left, but the pass goes over the middle here because that kind of draws the defense out. And the pass over the middle is going to go to Olivia Dominguez-Millsop, picking up the first down. And now it is 1st and goal, Midland in the red zone, knocking on the scoring door here. And they pass to the back right corner of the end zone, but it is going to be incomplete. On second down, Kaio pumps and is sacked on the play, but somehow it's ruled an incompletion, which is kind of crazy because Tegan Smith is literally holding Kaio's flag here, and the official then rules it incomplete after Kaio steps up with no flag and then throws it. So Tegan Smith, I see you. You totally got cheated out of a sack on that. But regardless here, it's third down, and there's going to be a pass over the middle to the 14, and Southwestern here is going to take a timeout with 5:43 left in the half here with 4th down and 3 until the end zone. So no telling what that sack could have done here because this is a very good opportunity for Midland, just 3 yards outside of the end zone. But the Southwestern defense is going to buckle up anyway and force an incompletion here and a turnover on downs. And now it's Southwestern's turn to have their backs up against the wall. But they're going to motion Dooley left to right and call a speed option and pick up 5 yards here. Solis then throws a swing route right here, and that is going to be number 6 making the catch here, Carla Lopez, and getting ahead here for just a few yards and draw a holding penalty on Midland that really extends it all. And so following the penalty, it is first down with 3 minutes and 50 seconds in the half out of their own red zone, and it's going to be a play action, and Solis evades some defenders and shovels it ahead to 6 Lopez for a decent gain. Second down and 6, they pass it right to Dooley, who wins the jump ball for a first down into Warriors territory. And on first down, they follow that up with a triple option pitch out right to Smith, who picks up about 4 yards. On second down, it is a quick pass right to Dooley that will bring us to the 2-minute warning. And on third down and 2, Solis takes a shot down the middle of the field that is nearly intercepted. But the officials come out and not only say incomplete, but that it is a personal foul on Southwestern that will push them back, setting about 3rd and 13. And following an incompletion here, they're going to have a false start and then punt with 1:11 left in the half. Midland's going to be on their own 21-yard line with first down and about 9 yards to go and kick off their drive with an incompletion. Now they call a motion handoff right to number 3, who makes the defender miss and then falls into the defender, initially drawing a flag, but it is rightfully waived here. On that handoff is Alyssa Butler, by the way. And then on third down and 10, they're going to pass it to the right boundary that is brought in by Livingston, and a touchdown saving and diving flagpole by number 2 of this Southwestern squad. Mallory Lund here saves the touchdown, like I said. However, Midland has the ball inside the red zone with 46 seconds to go. Now, Midland calls a direct snap to the running back, but the running back is bobbling it, and the ball is up in the air, and Miranda Dooley just grabs the bobble and rips it for Southwestern possession here. And Southwestern is basically going to let this clock wind out and bring it to halftime at 0s. Now, Southwestern, to start the second half, calls a short pass to 2, who picks up a first down and gets a little bit banged up on the play here. Now, the pass to 4, which is going to be Davina Little here, is going to just pick up a couple yards. And on second down, it's trips right, and they check down to 6, who gets her flag pulled by Sydney Red for a loss here. Now, on third down and a lot longer to go, Solis keeps it, but the flag is pulled by Red again here to force a Southwestern punt. Midland here comes out, and on second down and about 10 to midfield, pass right to Butler, who picks up about 6 yards, setting up third down and 4. Now, Kyle here throws over the middle to Livingston for a first down past midfield and about 10 yards to go into the red zone here. Now, following that is an incompletion, but on second down, Kyle loads up and throws a bomb downfield to Livingston in double coverage, who makes the catch for the touchdown here. But the PAT is no good, but Midland finally gets the scoring going here. Livingston taking over on this drive here and willing the Warriors into the promised land for the first lead of this game here. But the Midland defense is going to follow that up here along with some Southwestern errors here that is resulting in a fumble, a drop, and almost an interception, and Southwestern will punt after their initial play gets a first down. Now, Midland will have the ball after the punt on their own 27-yard line, and the first snap is going to be low and fumbled, pushing them back to their own 21. Now, the pass is batted in the backfield by number 24, Smith here, and now it's going to set up third down and 19, but a pass deep over the middle to who else? Livingston makes a great catch reaching up here and getting a contested first down all the way to Southwestern's 38-yard line. Now they pass it right, and that's going to be incomplete, but a penalty on Southwestern for illegal contact pushes the Warriors just 7 or so yards from the first down. And on the following play, Midland, Angel, Ione, Kaio here winds up and bombs it right here, and that's going to be caught by a wide open Alyssa Butler for the score here, and the throw to the snapper here, number 11, Kobe J, is going to be good for the PAT and push the Warriors up to 13-0, now scoring on 2 consecutive drives on the performance of great Angel Kyle throws here and great Livingston plays that keep their drives alive. Now Southwestern has the ball and they pass it to Tegan Smith, who gets up there for the catch and then laterals it to number 4, who picks up a first down, but a Southwestern penalty will undo the gain and put them back behind their own 20-yard line, and the net total of the gain here is going to be just a yard. And so now replaying first down, they're going to pass right, but Olivia Dominguez-Millsop is going to make the interception and walk in for the score here. And the PAT is going to be good, putting the Warriors up 20-0 with a little over a minute left in the third. And it is just a nightmare scenario here for Southwestern that is now down 20-0 before the fourth quarter here. And it doesn't help that they are going to end up going basically 3 and out here and have to punt with 27 seconds left in the third. And to make matters worse, Midland is going to catch the punt by number 3 in their own territory, and Butler's going to pitch it right to Livingston, who turns on the burners and takes this to the house, making it 26-0, only 15 seconds into the final frame here. And that is basically going to do it here, as Southwestern can't get anything going on offense. And that is going to be the final score of 26-0 here. Midland taking care of business and figuring it out here in the second half to end this game here. And so Midland here, they end the day holding the Southwestern offense to under 100 yards, basically. And, Solis did what she could. Well, under 100 passing yards and 100 rushing yards. That's a pretty low total for any offense here. But we're going to talk about Southwestern's defensive performance here, as they did have some notable players like Tegan Smith, who had a great game, a pass breakup, a sack, and was constantly in the backfield causing issues all day. You obviously have Miranda Dooley, who had that fumble recovery, for lack of a better word, even though it kind of wasn't a fumble, but it wasn't a strip either. But that bobble that she ends up ripping away and giving Southwestern the football here. But other than that, not too much to talk about on the Southwestern side. Defensively for Midland here in this shutout, huge performances from Sydney Red as well as Dominguez-Millsop here, both with 7 flagpoles apiece. Dominguez-Millsop obviously with a pick 6 being a part of that scoring here, and Sydney Red with a couple of big-time flagpoles, forcing, flagpoles for loss, as well as getting a few big ones that force punts. Livingston not only getting it done on the offensive side of the ball, but with 2 pass breakups as well. And then, Patterson with an interception and 3 pass breakups herself in the defensive secondary in this shutout. And then offensively here, you can't talk about this game without Angel Ione Cayo's performance here. Not a great completion percentage, but ending the day with 185 yards and 2 touchdowns to just a pick. And receiving-wise, Aliyah Livingston carried this offense, 4 receptions for 108 yards and a touchdown. And then Alyssa Butler also getting a huge play with a receiving touchdown. And obviously, on the special team side of things, Aliyah Livingston, definitely the playmaker of the game here, with over 150 net yards and 2 of the touchdowns here for Midland, who advances on to face Ottawa, who awaits them in the semifinal round. And that'll do it for this game, obviously. Midland winning 26-0, but Southwestern with, a decent first half in their first ever KCAC tournament. Hey, y'all. Very small break, but we're coming right back here with a box score recap from the 2 versus 7 seed game. That is Kansas Wesleyan as the 2 seed versus the University of St. Mary's here. Not too much to talk about here, as K-Dub takes care of business for the dub, winning 46-0 on the heels of an initial 34-0 lead at halftime. Just kind of going through the scoring summary, Jada Wilson is going to catch the first touchdown pass from Awada, and then DeQuee is going to catch the next one before Angel Roman gets an 18-yard pick 6, and then DeQuee gets the next 2 receiving touchdowns from Awada here. And then Aaliyah Young gets in on the action with a receiving touchdown from Emily Bull here. It looks like K-Dub puts in their backups here, and that is going to help USM get their only touchdown of the day, as Sade Irvin gets a reception from Cheyenne Brooks, but that's going to be too little too late here. Antonelli being the last Coyote to catch a pass from Emily Bull here. But, looking at the individual box score and just talking about some of these performances, Awada, 13 of 24 touchdowns, no interceptions. And then Emily Bull, the backup here, goes 9 of 15 for 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. So it was just kind of free eats for the Coyotes here. The notable receiver of this game, DeQuee, 4 receptions, 84 yards, and 3 receiving touchdowns here. And then Antonelli and Wilson and Young also getting in on that action here in K-Dub's victory. And looking at the K-Dub defensive stats here, it doesn't look like any were really notched here. Or, nope, sorry, I just don't know how to use box score. But Rabano here is going to get 2 sacks. And defensively, you're going to have Roman's pick 6, Alexa Mansour gets an interception, Jada Wilson gets an interception, and then Nikayla Howard also gets an interception, as well as 3 pass breakups. Ashley Hawthorne is going to lead the team in registered flagpoles with 4 as well as 2 pass breakups. On the other end of things, Talia Wright would be leading the Spires in flagpoles with 6 of them. And then Trinity Scott and Demi Hilton are both going to get flagpoles for loss, with Hilton's being a sack. Offensively, USM struggles to get anything going. Cheyenne Brooks, in her first ever KCAC appearance here, 16 of 32 for 106 yards, but only 1 touchdown to 4 picks here. And then they could not get anything of a run game going here, netting only 2 yards of runs here. And then receiving wise, like I said, Sade Irvin had 2 receptions, 34 yards, and the lone scorer. Latoya Mitchell had 7 receptions, but only for 27 yards, averaging just under 4 yards per reception. Nothing to really write home about for USM, whose KCAC season is now over. I'm not sure if we'll see them at Nationals, but I'd like to, just to maybe see, some of their notable players like Irvin live and see kind of what they can do, as well as Brooks live, because I do think that Brooks is a very promising talent. But that is going to punch K-Dub's ticket to the semifinals, where they will play Baker here, and that'll do it for the quarterfinals of the KCAC tournament here. It ain't been too long since you heard my voice here, because we are in the semifinals of the KCAC tournament here, with the 4-seeded Midland Warriors taking on the 1-seeded Ottawa Braves. Ottawa had a bye to start this tournament since they were the regular season champs. And so let's go ahead and dive straight into it. And the Warriors are going to start here. And this is quite a long drive here, starting with an incompletion and another incompletion thanks to a DJ Paris pass rush here. But on 3rd down, Kyle lasers one in to Dominguez Millsop, who then pitches it to Livingston, who gets all the way to the 29-yard line here. On the next play, Angel keeps it herself and gets to about the 38-yard line, but a flag on Ottawa for illegal contact is called and pushes Midland inside of Ottawa territory to about the 35-yard line. I did think that this flag might have been on Midland initially here, but I was mistaken here. On 1st down, Angel evades a rusher and steps up to throw, but the pass is going to be dropped here, and another drop here will land the Warriors on 3rd and 13 here, when Kyle loads up and lets one fly that is caught by Emily Farron, making up for her drop on the prior play and getting all the way to the 1-yard line here, putting Midland in excellent position to score on their opening drive here. And it is now 1st and goal from the 1-yard line here. Midland keeps 2 running backs in front of Kayo and has 2 receivers left and 1 right. The throw barely gets off in time before a sack can happen, though. On 2nd down, it is going to be DJ Paris wreaking some more havoc here, batting the ball down and getting a hand on it and forcing 3rd down here. Midland, they call a timeout here, and when they come back out, they're going to wind up and throw over the middle into heavy traffic. It's going to be incomplete, and after a huge conversion on 3rd downs here, 2 huge conversions on 3rd down, including a big pass here, Midland is now staring at 4th down on just the 1-yard line here, and Ottawa's defense is trying to survive this drive here and force a turnover on downs, and they do exactly that here as the throw just gets away from Kayo here and sails out of her hands and is incomplete here, giving Ottawa the ball on their own 1-yard line. They're going to call a Carrera keeper here to just get some breathing room to about the 4 or 5-yard line. Carrera then throws left to Camacho, who picks up another 5 yards. Shout out to Addie Orsburn here with stellar shadow blocking and setting up 3rd down here. Carrera throws over the middle, and the receiver almost reels in a one-hander, but not quite, and that will result in an Ottawa punt here. And Midland on the punt starts to return it, but the returner laterals it forward, and that's an illegal maneuver here that pushes them back to their own 25-yard line. Suzanne Kaufman gets great pressure here on first down, forcing a Midland incompletion. And then on second down, they keep back the Warriors, that is, keep back 2 blockers here. And that gives Kyo time to find number 23, Livingston, all the way to the 38-yard line, setting up 3rd and 2. Now, Midland throws left, and the pass is tipped up in the air and intercepted by Cynthia Holmes, however. And there is a flag on Midland here, but it is going to be waived, and Holmes is going to give Ottawa possession on their own 35-yard line to begin this drive. Now, Ottawa throws left to Scalisi, who catches it for a first down all the way to the Midland 29-yard line. And then Carrera finds Linkus at about the 20-yard line, who breaks ahead inside the 10-yard line before finally getting her flag pulled. There's 2 minutes remaining here in the first quarter, and it is 1st and goal, and they're packed in tight, and they zip it in here. Carrera to Camacho, who extends for the score here and gives Ottawa the 6-0 lead following a missed PAT. Now, Midland has the ball here. They're trying to shake off the red zone blunder, the midfield turnover, and the Ottawa score to try and keep this game close. And so it's going to be a throw right to Butler, whose flag is quickly pulled by number 33, Talia McInnes here. On second down, it is a play-action pass that is zipped in to the 25 here for a first down. And then a bullet pass to 3 rumbles ahead to the 34-yard line. That is going to be Alyssa Butler on that reception. Now, it is 2nd down and 6 to start the second quarter, and they come in tight with one tailback, and they throw to the snapper for about 3 yards, but illegal contact on Midland pushes them back, and it's now 2nd down and 16. It's great pressure from Kaufman, which leads to a play that gains 0 yards for Midland. And then on 3rd down, Ottawa brings 2, but Kyle rifles one over the middle to Livingston, who elevates for a big contested catch for a first down, basically on the midfield line here. On first down, Ottawa sends 2 rushers, and that forces an Angel throw deep down the middle, but it's too deep for anyone to make a play on it. On 2nd down and 20, it is a throw swing left to Livingston, who accelerates to about the 30-yard line, but a flag on Ottawa here is going to put the Warriors on the 19-yard line for a first down, now in the red zone for the second time today. Now, on 1st and goal from the 19-yard line, Kyle's throw gets away from her, and so now it's 2nd and goal. Kyle winds up and throws almost straight to Cynthia Holmes, who weaves ahead to the 20-yard line and then pitches it, and it's almost caught by a Midland defender, offensive player, offense turned defense. Regardless, it goes right into the stomach of a Midland player, but they don't maintain possession here, and so with the ball hitting the turf, it's still going to be Ottawa's ball here at about their 20-yard line. Now, it opens up with a throw left to Spielberg, who gets to the 33-yard line before being pulled by Sydney Red. And on 2nd down, Carrera throws a beautiful pass, arcing rainbow over to Linkus, who wins the sprint the rest of the way for a 47-yard touchdown. And while the 2-point attempt is no good, Ottawa is still now leading 12-0. Midland here just trying to shake off these missed opportunities, and they get a first down here on the very first play. And with 7:59 left in the half, they pass left to Livingston, who gets her flag pulled by Abby Brown at the 27-yard line. And then on the next play, Kyle avoids the rush, but throws an ill-willed pass over the middle that is jumped and taken back over 30 yards to the end zone by Abby Brown here. And with the PAT caught by Scalisi, Ottawa is now up 19-0, as this is a nightmare start for Midland, with a handful of missed opportunities just absolutely plaguing this football squad. Midland has got to get some plays going, some momentum or something, because Angel is doing a little too much, and they just got to settle down. And they do exactly that by handing it off to Lopez here, who sprints ahead to the 22-yard line for a first down. They then throw another check down to Lopez, and with a flag on Ottawa, it's going to push them to the 34-yard line. Kyle then finds Alyssa Butler to the 39-yard line of Ottawa for a first down, and they are slowly but surely picking up enough yards here to keep this drive going. On 1st down and 19 is a pass to Farron, who gets to the 34-yard line, but on 2nd down, Suzanne Kaufman sacks the quarterback here, pushing Midland back to their own 37-yard line, and on 3rd and over 20, it's an incomplete pass, and Midland will line up to punt, but the miscues just keep piling on here as they drop the snap on the punt, and Ottawa is now inside Midland territory with about 4 minutes to go in the half. There's a deep pass that's almost intercepted by Alyssa Butler, and Midland really could have used that because just a couple plays later here, Ottawa here, they're picking up 4 yards here, 4 yards there, and it's 4th and 4 here. And Carrera rolls left and stretches the play all the way to the boundary, narrowly picking up a first down, putting Ottawa inside of the red zone of Midland here. Now, the 2-minute warning was eclipsed on that last play, and on the first play, with the 2-minute warning having happened, they pass left to Spielberg, who gets out of bounds and is now inside the 10, maybe even to the 5-yard line. Carrera throws right, and it looks like an easy score, but Alyssa Butler makes a good play on the ball here, squeezing her hand up here and deflecting it, forcing an incompletion, but that is only going to postpone the inevitable as Carrera throws left to Linkus here for the touchdown here. And now Midland has the ball with a minute and a half left in the half, trying to get something on the board before half here. But it's a scary start to the drive as Abby Brown almost gets an interception here, but it's going to be an illegal contact penalty on Ottawa anyway. So even if it was a pick, it would have been waved off and gives Midland a first down at the 24-yard line. They call an orbit motion here and then a speed option left that picks up about 1 yard. And then another illegal contact on Ottawa pushes the ball ahead and gives the Warriors the ball on their own 35-yard line. Angel here unloads a deep shot that is incomplete and is now 3rd and 5 with 45 seconds to go. And it's going to be a pump and a dump off on a fadeaway shovel to Lopez. On 4th and 3, Midland burns a timeout here, and it doesn't matter as whatever they draw up is unsuccessful and gives Ottawa the ball on the 36-yard line here. And they start off with a pass left to Scalisi, who picks up 5 yards here, and they burn a timeout. There's now 26.2 seconds left in the half, and Carrera uncorks one down the middle to Spielberg, who elevates and makes the catch and is stopped at the 1-yard line. But Ottawa takes a timeout and has 17 seconds to just get 1 yard here. And Carrera is going to find Linkus for her hat trick and put up Ottawa 31-0. And this is where a tap out and will box score the rest of it here. Unfortunately, there's going to be another touchdown scored by Ottawa here, putting them up 38-0 before finally Midland gets 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter with an Olivia Dominguez-Millsop reception and a Mayanna Seigers reception from Angel Ione here. For Midland, it's kind of crazy that they led in first downs in this game and still had 265 yards of offense, but just could not get the plays done when they mattered most. I mean, Ione Kayo with 4 interceptions here to just 2 touchdowns on 51 pass attempts. Not really a run game going either, and a great pass rush from Ottawa is going to have a lot to do with that. As you look at Ottawa's defensive stats, you have Suzanne Kaufman, who had a sack. And then as far as hurries go, I know Kaufman at least had 3. I know DJ Paris had like 3 in this game. And it was just an all-you-could-rush buffet here. Abby Brown, obviously, with a pick 6. Farron Malouf here, credited with an interception as well. And Cynthia Holmes with those 2 interceptions in the first half as well, helping give the Braves short fields to work with. And not like that mattered because their offense was quite explosive when not backed up in their own end zone here. But to bounce back to the Warriors here, Dominguez-Millsop leads all receivers with 64 yards. Alyssa Butler notched 6 yards. Livingston definitely keyed in on by the Ottawa defense after probably having heard or witnessed how she did in that game against Southwestern. Definitely way more limited in this game than she was in the earlier game. On the offensive side of the ball, defensively still found a way to make an impact, leading the team in flagpoles with 5, and then Red, Farron, and Millsop all getting 4 apiece here. Patterson getting 1 interception, and Alyssa Butler with 2 pass breakups that was tied for the team lead with Millsop and Livingston as well. Now on the Ottawa side of the offensive ball here, obviously Linkus with 3 receiving touchdowns and 119 receiving yards, leading the team, as well as 10 receptions, just kind of being unstoppable here. But if you key in on one, it opens up opportunities for all the other great playmakers here, like Spielberg, 5 receptions, 82 yards and a touchdown. Scalisi, 5 receptions, 40 yards. And then, Camacho with her 1 receiving touchdown. The one getting the ball to all of them, Madison Carrera, 20 of 23, 5 touchdowns, no picks. And then they also got a couple of other players in there passing the ball, like Jada Barron here, 6 of 12 and a pick. but it doesn't really matter as Ottawa cruises to a 38-13 win and will wait the winner of the K-Dub Baker game in the other semifinal and then play the very next day at Arrowhead Stadium. No shout out to Kansas City Chiefs, actually. Forget that. I can't do that as a Broncos fan, but it's cool that Ottawa will get to play in Arrowhead for the nth year in a row as they continue to try and establish a KCAC dynasty here that is already alive and well and are probably just trying to get ready for nationals. But go ahead and listen to Gino's recaps coming up on the other semifinal game as well as the chip.
What is good, y'all? Gino again here with the Playmakers Corner podcast, and it is time to check out what happened in the KCAC semifinal matchup between the 2-seeded Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes and the 3-seeded Baker Wildcats from Saturday night, April 20th. Kansas Wesleyan took down St. Mary in the quarterfinals, and Baker took down Cody in their quarterfinal game earlier in the day. So both teams are looking to face Ottawa in the championship game on Sunday. With both teams having a lot on the line here, let's go ahead and see what happened in this matchup. It is Baker ball, 1st and 6 to start off this game. A quick pass on first down is dropped and nearly picked. Then on 2nd and 6, the QB Sanijah Waller finds Logan Hearn on a quick out to make it 3rd and short. On 3rd down, Waller finds Destiny Martinez on a quick out to give Baker the first down. 1st and about 17 here, Waller finds Martinez again over the middle for a couple yards with Anzayan Rabano on the flagpole. And then on 2nd down, a screen pass is shut down by Rabano for a loss of 2. A pass to the second QB, Janae Ferdinand, as she hits Martinez for a big gain near midfield to make it 4th and manageable. On 4th and 3, the quick pass over the middle is dropped, and that will be a turnover on downs. 1st and 18 for Kansas Wesleyan to start their first drive of the game. A quick out to Jasmine Whitfield gets them about 5 yards, and then on 2nd down, she finds Jada Wilson along the sideline for about 5 more yards. On 3rd and 10, Chihiro Wada surveys and connects with a crossing Jayla House to give Kansas Wesleyan a first down into the red zone. On 1st and 20, Logan Hearn gets a hand on the deep ball in the end zone, and she knocks it down there. 2nd and 20 now, Awada finds Jasmine Whitfield along the sideline for about 10 yards. On 3rd and medium, Chihiro Awada steps back and throws a laser to a wide-open Eva Novacek in the end zone for a Coyote touchdown. Kansas Wesleyan leads now 6-0 with 4:51 left in the first quarter. 1st and 6 for Baker as they prepare to answer. A quick hitter over the middle is dropped, and then on 2nd down, Sanijah Waller surveys and decides to keep it for about 4 yards. On 3rd and short, a quick pass over the middle to Janae Ferdinand gets them the first down. 1st and 18 now, Waller rolls out left and launches one deep, and that pass falls incomplete, but a roughing the passer on Kansas Wesleyan gives Baker an automatic first down here. 1st and 6 now, a quick out is dropped, and then on 2nd down, a quick pass to Daniela Gonzalez Takashima gives Baker a first down across midfield. 1st and 19 here for Baker, a quick screen to Kayla Harrison gets them about 4 yards, and then on 2nd down, a curl route complete to Harrison again for another 4 yards. On 3rd and 11, Waller rolls to her right under pressure and throws a perfect pass to Daniela Gonzalez Takashima for a big-time first down into the red zone, and that takes us to the end of the first quarter. Kansas Wesleyan leads 6-0 early in this one. 1st and 9 for Baker in the red zone to start the second quarter. Waller keeps it and takes it left for about 5 yards, and then on 2nd down, a short pass to Kayla Harrison gives the Wildcats a couple more yards. 3rd and 3 here, Sanijah Waller keeps it and takes it left into the end zone for a Wildcat touchdown. Baker ties it up 6-6 early on here in the second quarter. 1st and 6 for Kansas Wesleyan to start their drive. A short crosser is complete to Keon DeQuee to get them the first down. On 1st and 19, the pass to Jada Wilson along the sideline is dropped, and then on 2nd down, Chihiro Awada decides to keep it and gets 9 yards on the run. 3rd and 10 for the Coyotes, Awada nails Angel Roman on a post route for a first down across midfield. On 1st and 16, illegal contact on the Coyotes pushes them back 10 yards. First and 24 now. Baker rushes 2, but Awada is still able to find Jayla Howes at the last second for a 5-yard gain. Second and 19 now. Awada hits Angel Roman on a post over the middle for a big-time gain to put them near the first down. On 3rd and 1 with 6:03 left, Awada and Roman connect again on a quick hitter over the middle for a first down into the red zone. First and 13 now for the Coyotes. Awada's pass to the end zone to Kiaran DeQuee is dropped as it appeared she might have run into another receiver there. Second and 13, Awada finds Angel Roman on an out route, and Roman takes that just a couple yards shy of the end zone to make it 3rd and very short. On 3rd and 2, Awada's pass to the end zone is broken up by Logan Hearn, who makes an amazing play on the ball there. 4th and 2 now, Awada surveys and throws a bullet to Angel Roman in the end zone for a Kansas Wesleyan touchdown to take back the lead. It is now 12-6 late in the second quarter. 1st and 6 for Baker as they prepare to answer. Waller finds Jalen Harris along the sideline near the first down. And 2nd and 1 now, Waller's pass is deep, but tight coverage forces an incompletion near midfield. 3rd and 1 now, Waller rolls out right and decides to keep it for the Baker first down. 1st and 16 with under 2 minutes to go now, Waller's pass is overthrown, and then on 2nd down, a short pass to Logan Hearn as Hearn takes that for about 6 yards to make it 3rd and 10. Baker calls timeout here with 1:20 left to play in the half. On 3rd and 10, following the timeout, Waller is dancing in the backfield with great protection, but her pass along the sideline is just barely incomplete as Baker will be forced to punt it here. 1st and 19 for Kansas Wesleyan with 57 seconds left after Anstein Urbano takes the punt across midfield. Awada hits Angel Roman on a quick out, and Roman makes some crazy jukes to avoid 2 flagpoles as she takes that one out of bounds for a first down into the red zone. On 1st and 19, Chihiro Awada has great protection as she launches one deep to a wide open Eva Novosek in the end zone for a Kansas Wesleyan touchdown to add to their lead. It is now 18-6 with 42 seconds left in the half. 1st and 6 now for Baker with under a minute to go. Kansas Wesleyan rushes 2, but Waller finds Jalen Harris along the sideline for a first down. But Harris forgets to go out of bounds there as her flag is pulled, and the clock keeps ticking as Baker's head coach, Willie Perez, is yelling for them to hurry up. On 1st and 20, Waller's deep pass is way overthrown, and that will stop the clock. 2nd and 20 now, Waller keeps it left for about 5 yards, and then on 3rd down, a deep pass is batted down, so the Baker punt crew will make their way out. 1st and 12 for Kansas Wesleyan near their own end zone after a booming punt, and that will take us to the end of the first half. Kansas Wesleyan leads Baker 18-6 in the KCAC semifinals. 1st and 6 for Kansas Wesleyan to start the half as they try and go up 3 scores here. A quick out to Jada Wilson gets the Coyotes a first down. 1st and 16 now. It's the same play on the other side of the field to Kiaran DeQuee for about 8 yards. On 2nd and 8, Awada's deep pass along the sideline to Jada Wilson is just barely out of reach. And then on 3rd down, Awada finds Kiaran DeQuee on a curl route for a first down across midfield. 1st and 18 now, Awada is flushed out right and finds Jayla Howes on the run for a nice gain. And then on 2nd down, the pass to Wilson near the sideline is dropped. 3rd and 8 now for the Coyotes. Awada surveys, rolls to her right, and launches one to the end zone to a wide open Jada Wilson, and it is caught for a Kansas Wesleyan touchdown. The Coyotes lead now 24-6 here midway through the 3rd quarter. 1st and 6 for Baker, and they really need a score here badly. A quick hitter over the middle to Destiny Martinez gets Baker the first down. 1st and 19 now, a quick pass to Gabriela Zabaleta goes for about 4 yards, and then on 2nd down, Janae Ferdinand catches a short pass and makes some nice moves to push the ball up about 10 yards. 3rd and 5 here for the Wildcats. A quick screen to Kayla Harrison gets them just short of the first down, and Baker will go for it here on 4th and 1. Waller takes the snap and sneaks it up the middle for an easy first down across midfield. 1st and 16 now, a quick hitter to Destiny Martinez over the middle gets them about 5 yards, and then on 2nd down, Waller rolls out left and keeps it for a solid gain to make it 3rd and short. On 3rd and short, Waller nails a crossing Logan Hearn, who makes her way deep into the red zone for a first down. 1st and 10 now, Waller finds Gabriela Zabaleta to put Baker near the end zone. Kansas Wesleyan calls timeout following the play late in the third quarter here. On 2nd and 2 following the timeout, Waller's pass to the back of the end zone is a perfect lob, but that one is somehow dropped. 3rd and 2 now, Waller takes the snap and keeps it right for a Baker Wildcat touchdown. It is now 24-13 following the extra point with 1:01 left here in the third quarter. 1st and 6 for Kansas Wesleyan as they try and add some cushion to their lead. Baker rushes 2 and forces Awada to get rid of it quick as the pass falls incomplete, and then on 2nd down, Awada is flushed out right and finds Jada Wilson along the sideline for a Kansas Wesleyan first down, and that will take us to the end of the third quarter. Kansas Wesleyan leads Baker 24-13 heading into the final quarter of the semifinal game. 1st and 17 for the Coyotes to start off the fourth quarter of the KCAC semifinal matchup. Awada is flushed out right as she lobs up a dime to Jasmine Whitfield along the sideline for about 9 yards. And then on 2nd down, Awada finds a receiver who draws illegal contact for a first down across midfield. 1st and 12 across midfield now for the Coyotes following the penalty. Awada is flushed out right and decides to keep it as she cuts back and makes some nice moves for a big gain into the red zone. 1st and 16 now, Nikhil Lloyd takes a short crosser for a few yards, and then on 2nd down, Kieran DeQuee is sent in motion and takes the handoff for a nice gain near the end zone. 3rd and 3 now, Awada fakes the handoff and hits Jasmine Whitfield across her body for a Kansas Wesleyan touchdown to completely put this game away. The lead is now 30-13, and that would be our final score in this one, as Kansas Wesleyan will be moving on to the KCAC Championship with a 30-13 win over Baker. Awesome win for Kansas Wesleyan as they will now be moving on to play Ottawa in the KCAC Final. Your PMC playmaker of the game is Chihiro Awada for her 5-touchdown performance in this one as she continues to be a top MVP candidate. It was also a nice game from Eva Novosek, who seemed to be wide open in the red zone all game with 2 touchdowns in the first half to help propel the Coyotes to this semifinal win. The game against Ottawa tomorrow will be the 3rd matchup of the season between the two teams, with both teams having 1 win apiece. Kansas Wesleyan got their first win against Ottawa in program history earlier in the season. Then Ottawa got revenge just a week ago in the KCAC regular season championship. Ottawa looked like a brand new team in that game, so it will definitely be interesting to see how the Coyotes respond. Kickoff is set for 3 p.m. Central Time on Sunday. As for Baker, they just got outplayed in this one on both sides of the ball, especially on defense. Kansas Wesleyan is too high-powered of an offense and too good on defense, and that really showed in this one. The Wildcats have a really solid core of young players and are easily one of the most exciting new programs in the country. I really liked what I saw from Logan Hearn in the secondary and as a receiver, and I also really like how Coach Willie Perez approaches the game. I look forward to seeing Baker in the national tournament, and I honestly expect them to be a perennial top 10 team for years to come. And that about wraps up this recap. I will see you all in the recap of the KCAC Championship coming up next. Peace out. What is good, y'all? Gino here, and it is time for us to recap what happened in the KCAC Championship from Sunday, April 21st between the 1-seeded Ottawa Braves and the 2-seeded Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes. These two squads are 1-1 against each other this season, with Kansas Wesleyan getting their first win over Ottawa in program history earlier in the season, and then Ottawa got revenge last week in the KCAC regular season championship. Ottawa has completely dominated this matchup overall, though, in past seasons, so it will be interesting to see if Kansas Wesleyan can continue to change things around in this one. With that all being said, let's go ahead and jump right into this recap. It is Ottawa ball to start off the championship game, 1st and 6. Madison Carrera hits Jaslyn Camacho on first down for a few yards, and then on 2nd down, a quick out to Alyssa Linkus gets them a nice gain and first down. 1st and 12 now, Carrera has a clean pocket with great protection as she rolls left and finds Jaslyn Camacho, who avoids a flagpole and takes that one across midfield for a big gain and first down. On 1st and 6, Carrera rolls left and tries to check it down, but Kylie Douglas gets good pressure to force an incompletion. 2nd and 6 now, Carrera finds Marley Spielberg in stride wide open over the middle for a first down into the red zone. First and 11 now, Carrera launches one deep to Mandolin Scalisi, who makes a crazy catch along the sideline, but her feet appeared to be out of bounds there, so it will be incomplete. Second and 11 now, Madison Carrera rolls left and finds Marley Spielberg wide open, and Spielberg walks into the end zone for the first touchdown of the KCAC title game. The Braves lead now 7-0 after Carrera and Spielberg connect on the extra point with 7:40 left here in the first quarter. It is Kansas Wesleyan ball now, 1st and 6 as they prepare to answer. The QB Chihiro Awada keeps it for a first down, and then on 1st and 20, Awada's pass is overthrown. 2nd and 20 now, Awada's pass on a quick out is dropped, and then on 3rd and long, Awada takes the snap and launches one deep up to Jada Wilson across midfield, and it is overthrown, but pass interference on Ottawa gets Kansas Wesleyan a free first down and 10 yards. 1st and 10 now after the flag. Awada connects with Angel Roman on a quick out for 6 yards, and then on 2nd down, Awada connects with Jasmine Whitfield on a short crosser as Whitfield takes that one across midfield for a first down. 1st and 14 here for the Coyotes. Awada throws a bullet to Angel Roman for 7 yards, and then on 2nd down, Awada is flushed out right as Jada Wilson drops the pass wide open. 3rd and 7 here. Awada launches one over the middle to Angel Roman in stride on the post route to put the Coyotes deep into the red zone here. 1st and 11 now, DJ Paris gets to Awada to force an incompletion to the sideline. On 2nd and 11, Chihiro Awada throws a dime to DeQuee on a corner route, but the pass is broken up there by Cynthia Holmes. 3rd and 11 here, it is the same play to DeQuee, but the pass is once again broken up by Cynthia Holmes to force a 4th down try, and that takes us to the end of the first quarter. Ottawa leads 7-0 with Kansas Wesleyan knocking on the door here. Second quarter now, 4th and 11 for the Coyotes to start off. Awada takes the snap, and her pass is tipped out of her hands by Suzanne Kaufman to force a crazy clutch turnover on downs. 1st and 9 for the Braves following the turnover on downs. Madison Carrera goes deep to Mandolin Scalisi, and the pass is incomplete, but a pass interference call on Kansas Wesleyan makes it 1st and 19 for the Braves. On 1st down, Carrera lets go of a risky pass to Bailey Hodgins, and it is very nearly picked off, but Hodgins makes the catch and takes it near midfield for a big gain there. 2nd and 4 now, Carrera finds Scalisi near the sideline for a first down across midfield. 1st and 19 now, Carrera connects with Marley Spielberg on a post route in stride for another big first down into the red zone. 1st and 17 here for the Braves. Carrera's pass to the end zone is broken up by Ashley Hawthorne, and Ottawa calls timeout here with 8:27 left in the half. It is 2nd and 17 coming out of the timeout. Carrera's pass is behind Jaslyn Camacho, but Camacho makes a crazy catch and takes that near the end zone for a big gain. An awesome play there. 3rd and 1 now, Carrera's pass to Osborne is stopped short of the end zone by Alexa Manser, who makes a big-time stop there. 4th down now, Carrera fakes the sneak and flips it to Bailey Hodgins in the end zone for a Ottawa Braves touchdown. Ottawa now has a 2-score lead here, 13-0, after Ashley Hawthorne batted down the extra point. 6:30 left here in the half. 1st and 6 for Kansas Wesleyan, and they really need a score here and take some time off because they get the ball to start the second half as well. The Coyotes try a read option to DeQuee, but the handoff is dropped for a loss of 5. 2nd and 11 now, Awada finds Angel Roman along the sideline, and she cuts inside to get some of those yards back. 3rd and 3 here, Awada is flushed out right and finds an open Jayla Howes for a first down, plus a holding flag on Ottawa puts the Coyotes near midfield. 1st and 5 now, an illegal block pushes the Coyotes back 10 yards. On 1st and 15, Awada is flushed out left with Suzanne Kaufman trailing close behind as she keeps it for 9 yards. On 2nd down, Awada dots up Angel Roman on a quick out near the sideline for a first down across midfield. 1st and 18 here, Awada has Jasmine Whitfield wide open on a quick out for 10 yards. On 2nd and 8, Awada's pass is dropped over the middle to an open receiver, and on 3rd down, Awada's pass is overthrown as the clock stops here with 1:41 left in the half. A critical 4th down and 8 for the Coyotes here. Chihiro Awada takes the snap and has Jasmine Whitfield along the sideline, but it looks like Whitfield bobbled the pass as she was going out of bounds, so that is a very, very tough turnover on downs there. 1st and 12 for Ottawa to start their drive with 1:28 left in the half. Madison Carrera connects with Mandolin Scalisi on a curl route for 8 yards, and on 2nd down, Carrera rolls out right and hits Alyssa Linkus near midfield, but a personal foul penalty pushes Ottawa back 10 yards. 2nd and 5 here, Carrera checks it down to Orsborn, who takes that for a nice gain near midfield, and a personal foul on Kansas Wesleyan pushes the Braves up 10 yards across midfield. 1st down and 16, with 41 seconds left, Kylie Douglas and Anzian Rabano get to Carrera and force an incompletion. 2nd down now, pressure again from Anzian Rabano forces a bad pass from Carrera that falls incomplete. On 3rd and 16, Carrera's pass to Marley Spielberg over the middle is dropped, and the Braves will be forced to punt it here. 1st and 16 near their own end zone for Kansas Wesleyan with 26 seconds left in the half. Chihiro Awada's pass is thrown directly into a defender's hands, but it is dropped. 2nd down now, Awada is flushed out left and finds a receiver for a short gain. 3rd and 8 now with 14 seconds left, Awada finds Kieran DeQuee, but Suzanne Kaufman gets the flagpole to make it 4th and short, and the Braves will call timeout here with 5 seconds left. On 4th down, Awada's pass deep is overthrown, and that will take us to the end of the first half. Ottawa leads 13-0 at the break of this KCAC final. Heading into the third quarter now, it is 1st and 6 for Kansas Wesleyan to start the half, and they really, really need a score here to stay in this one. Chihiro Awada's pass to Kieran DeQuee is dropped, and then on 2nd down, Awada steps up and hits Jayla House open for a 1st down. 1st and 15 now for the Coyotes. Suzanne Kaufman gets to the QB and forces a bad checkdown pass that falls incomplete. On 2nd down, Awada's pass is tipped by a receiver, and it is picked off by Cynthia Holmes, and she takes that one into the red zone. It is now 1st and 16 for Ottawa in the red zone with a huge opportunity to go up 3 scores here following the pick by Holmes. On the first play of the drive, Carrera connects with Jaslyn Camacho on a post route, and Camacho just walks that one into the end zone for a Ottawa Braves touchdown. Ottawa now has a near insurmountable 20-0 lead with 8:44 left here in the third quarter. 1st and 6 for Kansas Wesleyan to start their drive, and it is not looking pretty. Awada finds Alexis Jimenez over the middle for a 1st down. 1st and 16 now, Awada is flushed out left and launches one deep, but it is overthrown along the sideline. 2nd and 16, DJ Paris tips a pass on the rush and forces an incompletion. 3rd and 16 here, Awada's pass to the sideline is nearly picked off, and so Kansas Wesleyan will be forced to punt it here. 1st and 3 for the Braves to start their drive following the punt. A pass to Mandolin Scalisi along the sideline goes for a 1st down, and then on 1st down, Diane Rabano gets a big-time sack to push Ottawa back. 2nd and 25 here, Madison Carrera hits Marley Spielberg for a 10-yard gain, and then on 3rd down, the rushers get to Carrera to force an incompletion. Ottawa will punt it here. 1st and 6 for Kansas Wesleyan with 2:22 left in the quarter. Awada fires a bullet to Kieran DeQuee for a 1st down along the sideline. Chihiro Awada then keeps it for a big gain to make it 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, a pass over the middle to DeQuee is somehow dropped to make it 3rd and 10. And on 3rd down, the pass from Awada slips out of a receiver's hands, and it is caught by Talia McInnes for a back-breaking interception, and that takes us to the end of the third quarter. Ottawa has a commanding 20-0 lead and will have the ball across midfield to start the fourth quarter. 1st and 18 for the Braves. Carrera is flushed out left, and her pass is out of reach. And then on 2nd down, Carrera finds Alyssa Linkus, who pitches it back to Jaslyn Camacho for 10 yards. 3rd and 8 here, Carrera finds Bailey Hodgins along the sideline for a nice gain to make it 4th and 1. On 4th down, Carrera finds Hodgins again along the sideline for a 1st down. 1st and 16 here, Carrera's pass to Camacho is dropped, and then on 2nd down, Carrera and Camacho correct their mistake from the last play and connect again over the middle for a nice gain. 3rd and 8 now, Camacho and Carrera connect once again over the middle for an Ottawa touchdown, and that makes the score 27-0 following the extra point. And that, folks, is where we stopped the recap, as Ottawa absolutely dominates Kansas Wesleyan 27-8 to take home their 4th straight KCAC championship. That was as dominant of a win as you can expect from the Ottawa Braves. That makes it 2 straight dominating wins over Kansas Wesleyan to secure their 4th consecutive KCAC championship. This team's turnaround since their loss to K-Dub earlier in the year is staggering, and we are all really starting to see why this team was favored to repeat as champions this year with their pure domination on both sides of the ball. Your PMC Playmaker of the game is going to Madison Carrera, who caps off this tournament with a 4-touchdown performance and once again picked apart a very good Kansas Wesleyan secondary. Her top receivers in this one were Jaslyn Camacho, Marley Spielberg, and Bailey Hodgins, who are all getting consistent touches all game to get Ottawa this big-time win. On defense, Suzanne Kaufman was a flat-out menace in this one, with multiple pressures and big-time plays. Alongside DJ Paris, those two are absolute game plan wreckers as they made Chihiro Awada work extra hard for any sort of completions or big-time plays. Congrats to the Braves for another KCAC championship, and I very much look forward to seeing them play in Atlanta for the national title. Now for Kansas Wesleyan, this is the second time in a row that we have seen them get flat-out dominated against Ottawa. This game was littered with drops on offense that led to multiple interceptions and basically killed every drive of the game up until the end of the game there. With only one win over a top 6 opponent this season and now getting killed by Ottawa in back-to-back weeks, I gotta say that I am a bit worried about how the Coyotes will do against the top Florida teams in the national tournament, especially with the drops being a consistent problem for this team for the entire season. I hope the Coyotes prove me wrong, but yeah, that's just how I'm feeling right now after watching that championship game. And that officially wraps up this recap. This is Gino with the Playmakers Corner podcast, checking out for the last time here in Week 10. Make sure to check in for our Week 11 episode where Simon, Cody, and myself will be going over what happened in the Sun Conference Tournament. Peace out, y'all.
Thank you for wrapping up the KCAC there, Gino. And now we're going to go head over to Power Rankings and see how this impacted our overall Power Rankings here and what to do from there. So, if you recall last week and the week before that and the week before that and the week before that, Keiser here remains at the number 1 spot, especially with the Seahawks' big wins this past week over Warner as well as Weber. Simon said, and I quote, "Week by week, they continue to prove they are a team to be reckoned with and the favorite to win it all. As the postseason approaches, they cannot afford to get too comfortable. When it comes down to it, these games at the end of the season are the ones that will be talked about the most moving forward. It's up to them whether they go all the way or not." And then Gino followed that up with a quote, "Keiser with a statement win over Warner to help secure the 1 spot in the rankings, and they will now be hosting the Sun Conference Tournament next week. A perfect regular season for the Seahawks, so hopes are definitely high for them." And I got to agree with both of those. You know, early on in the Warner game, they showed a very high level of domination, and then in the Weber game, they got off to kind of a slow start, and that did not deter them as they turned it on for the rest of the way. Now, moving on to our number 2 spot here, it is going to be a team that moves up a spot, and that's going to be the Thomas Nighthawks here, moving up. And you know what, let's just keep it in the same order with Simon here, saying, quote, "They could easily be number 1. Don't be surprised if they win the Sun Conference. This is a team that can do it and have done it before. The added challenge of playing the Sun Conference Tournament away for the first time ever should allow them to play a little bit more free, knowing they have less to lose not being the host team," end quote. And for Gino here, it was kind of enough said. Their big win over Life isn't what put them at number 2 for me personally. Cody Stauffer, that is. I just know that this is the second best team in the country after watching what they did against STU a couple weeks ago. I almost pulled the trigger on it, and they just continue to show how well balanced they are. And if you can't tell by the slew of award nominees that this team has, they are one of the best in the country, if not the best in the country. And their rematch, I'm assuming rematch against Keiser, should go crazy. Any of the rematches that they have actually should go crazy, because they will face at least one of our number 4 teams. But I digress here. It's now time to talk about the number 3 team in the country and the KCAC champs here. And for Simon, he said, quote, "I've been saying this nearly every week since that Georgia weekend. Until they are eliminated in the playoffs, I will not count them out. they could lose as many regular season games as possible, but because it's Ottawa, they've earned the benefit of the doubt. Now, I wouldn't consider them a favorite come the national tournament, but they are definitely a team who will be in the mix. For Ottawa, that is all they need, and they are catching fire at exactly the right time, end quote. And that's basically what Gino said, saying, quote, Ottawa is back to looking like national champs after they flat out murdered Kansas Wesleyan. The addition of Cynthia Holmes is paying massive dividends, and we saw that on full display in the KCAC final, end quote. And we saw it in the tournament, too. Against Midland, she had a great game, and defensively just poses a lot of problems for opposing quarterbacks here that are trying to read the field. And it's just going to be a very long game for anybody that has to go against the Braves, who are now still the only KCAC champs after taking care of business at Arrowhead here and moving up a spot to number 3. Now here at the number 4 spot, we have a tie for 4th here between Warner and St. Thomas University, both with 49 points. Warner dropping 2 spots, St. Thomas going up 2 spots. I'm going to go ahead and do the quotes on St. Thomas here, which is not a lot of thoughts here from the other fellows, but for me, it's just that knowing what they have defensively, I think that they can hang with any of these teams, and they're kind of very similar to Warner and me in a way that their defense is super crazy and their offensive inconsistencies are kind of my layer of doubt here. And so let's go ahead and talk about Warner here. And Simon said, quote, let's be real, their embarrassing loss to Keiser wasn't exactly something that was surprising. Maybe to Warner fans who consistently DM/comment or message us, thanks for the interaction, it was surprising. But to everyone else, it was predictable. This is a young team with a questionable quarterback situation. The potential is through the roof for sure, but at the end of the days, you have to win these games if you want a shot at the conference or a national championship. Their next opportunity to do that will be in the postseason. And Gino said, quote, we finally got to see Warner play against Keiser, and it went pretty much how we on the podcast expected. Their defense is still amazing and easily top 3 in the country, but that quarterback situation is a massive hole in the roster and honestly puts a cap on their potential. And yeah, I've been worried about this every single time that I've seen this Royal team. End quote on Gino, by the way. This is back to me. I've been worried about this quarterback situation for the whole season, honestly. Just because, yeah, defense wins championships, but your offense needs to be able to at least do enough to get you there. And I just don't know, heading into the national tournament, if that's something that we can expect from this Warner squad or the St. Thomas squad. Either way, both the defenses, like we've harped on, top-notch, but the offensive inconsistencies, those just aren't going to work against the top 3 teams in the country here of Keiser, Thomas, and Ottawa, who do have an explosive offense to complement their stingy defenses. Now, dropping down a spot is the KCAC runner-up here, Kansas Wesleyan here, and Simon saying, quote, due to Warner losing, I cannot get myself to drop Kansas Wesleyan. He actually had them at 5 over Warner at 6. Another unfortunate loss to Ottawa cannot feel good for them and will hopefully fuel a fire in them that will last after the Carrera era here in the next couple seasons. But unfortunately, this season, it looks like they are not good enough to consistently get past the KCAC yet. Now, this could definitely change here in 2 weeks, but a number of wins over Ottawa would have made me a lot more confident. Don't get it twisted, it's still a talented group, but they need to consistently show up and win these big games if they want to make a run, end quote. And then Gino, who covered the game, has Kansas Wesleyan at 6 and said, quote, Kansas Wesleyan got exposed badly in the KCAC title game against Ottawa. I hope they prove me wrong, but I think that lack of games against Sun Conference teams will be the ultimate demise of the Coyotes in the national tournament, end quote. And I know he was talking about that, but for me, I'm just more disappointed that it was basically a shutout. I mean, KWU scored with zeros on the clock, but that doesn't really mean anything to me. And for the future of this squad here, and between the 5, 6, and 6 rankings, that drops them down to the number 6 spot. Obviously, their win against Baker is something to be happy about, but the fact that they were only able to pull off the 1 win against Ottawa does make me question their ability to compete nationally. Now, Weber here is at number 7. Simon saying, quote, an ugly loss against Keiser is probably not how you want to end the regular season, but this was a Keiser team who's red hot and is looking more and more like the team of destiny. There's similar spots as Baker and Midland, in my opinion, end quote. And Simon having them at the 7 spot, just like the rest of us. Gino said, quote, Weber's execution on offense has been a serious point of concern, and we saw that in full reality against Keiser on Saturday. They're still number 7 in the power rankings, and I still feel like they could pull off an upset here in the Sun Conference Tournament and the national tournament in Atlanta, end quote. I do think that they can do that. They were actually only within a score with, a missed touchdown opportunity being the difference between a tie game heading into half as relayed by Gino, so make sure to listen to that. But that is still more than enough to hold them here in kind of the second tier or maybe even third tier of teams as far as, maybe dark horse level, but definitely not favorites heading into nationals. Midland here at the number 8 spot for me, number 9 for Simon, saying, quote, they finished just about where I thought they would in the conference tournament, so no real disappointment here. And for Gino on Midland at the number 8 spot, saying, quote, they've been sitting here for quite a few weeks now in my rankings. That is due to some up and down moments. Plus, I'm pretty confident they are just playing better than the teams below them. Now, as the person who watched the Ottawa game, Midland should have jumped out to a 7-0 lead. They blew a chance on the 1-yard line, and Angel Ione-Kayo kind of threw them out of this game. But I just think that talent-wise, she has one of the best arms in the country, and you can't write that off when considering this team for some big plays. Livingston is one of the best big play receivers, and you could tell that Ottawa just blanketed and bracketed her and kind of took her out of the game, and that stalled out this entire Midland offense. So they got to find ways to get other players involved. I'm looking at Alyssa Butler here as one of the primary targets heading into the national tournament to get ready and gear up for. Now, Baker here's at number 9. Simon had them at 8 and said, quote, just like Midland, they finished where I thought they would be. Still, for a first-year program, gotta love where they are at, end quote. And Gino saying, quote, Baker was able to move onto the semifinals of the KCAC Tournament, which is seriously awesome for a first-year program. The rest of the KCAC should be scared because it's only uphill from here, only up from here, end quote. And for me, I am definitely happy that they got a KCAC Tournament win. And, I think that they're right where they're in a great spot, honestly, here at the number 9 spot. And they could probably win some games here at Nationals pending how they do the tournament, whether it's pool play or whether it's double elimination. I don't think that they're just an 0-2 and out of here unless they draw some really tough matchups. Southwestern here at the number 10 spot. They remain in the same spot here. Simon has them at 12, saying, quote, no real surprises here as they are a younger team without much depth, but at least their core got some postseason play experience to work with moving forward. Gino here with them at 10 said, quote, Dueler as a rusher is seriously awesome. Once his roster is able to add some more talent around Dooley and Solis, I think the mound builders are going to be a big-time threat in the near future, end quote. Honestly, the Southwestern score is not as bad. It was just a really tough set of 3 consecutive drives that put this game out of reach, but they had chances to take the lead earlier. I think that if they capitalize on the proper opportunities, as in being inside the 10-yard line, that this is more of a 26-14 game, or maybe even 20-14 if one of those punts doesn't get returned to the house. This is obviously going to be a learning experience. I want to see Dooley back at quarterback. I know that she's awesome as a receiver, but just seeing Solis at quarterback, I don't think was the winning formula, and I want to see Southwestern back there. But ultimately, they land at the 10th spot. Now, our biggest riser, our big game riser here is going to be Milligan here, jumping up 4 spots to number 11, and Simon actually has them at 10, saying, quote, a big win over Campbellsville will move them up. This is an interesting squad who I think is pretty interchangeable with Campbellsville and Southwestern as far as whose program ranks as a whole. They have some bright spots, but inconsistent play will need to be fixed for them to take that next step forward, end quote. And Gino with Milligan at his 13th spot saying, quote, the Buffaloes got a flat-out dominating win over Campbellsville, and that is a good sign. They are one of the most up-and-down teams in the entire country, make them a very tough team to rank on a weekly basis, end quote. And I think you could see that with my rank here at 13 as well, that this team is just very up and down. It's a roller coaster, but some of the plays that they made in this game over Campbellsville that I was able to watch courtesy of WJHL, we got some one-handed plays. We got some nice reads from our quarterback here, Bridget Keiser. And I think that this team has a lot of things going for it, but, like the other fellas said with Southwestern, Campbellsville, or even Reinhardt, I would say, just a little inconsistent at times. And so speaking of Campbellsville, the team that they beat, they are at the number 12 spot here, dropping 2 spots. And Simon said, quote, this team and Milligan are very close to identical in my eyes. They lost this last matchup, but the past 3 were all close one-score wins. Them losing to Milligan was a probability that went up every time they played a close game against them, end quote. Simon playing the numbers game here. And then with Gino here, he went ahead and put Campbellsville at 12, saying, quote, the Tigers got shut out badly against Milligan, and that is more than enough for me to slide them out of the top 10 this week. For me, Campbellsville, I'm definitely sad that this offense just completely whiffed, and I dropped them to number 14 in my rankings, actually, which is probably going to be a huge part on why they dropped down too. But, Campbellsville, we kind of know what they are and who they're about, and they are definitely in this tier of teams here. Now, at number 13 is going to be Reinhardt here. Not too much to say from the fellas. Gino had to say, quote, Reinhardt didn't play this week, but they still move up for me to do the teams in front of them losing. I stand by my prediction that this team will be a real threat next year with the young talent that they have. So he had them at 11. I had them at 15. Simon had them at 13, which evens out to that 13th rank here. I think that the Eagles are in a solid spot. I think that they're capable of making some big plays in the tournament should we see them this year, but ultimately nothing too crazy. Life at number 14 here. They got worked by Thomas, and Gino said, quote, Life is on a serious slide to end the year. They have some seriously concerning losses to end the year, so not really what you like to see to end the regular season, end quote. Look, for Life, we kind of know what they have talent-wise, I would say. I have them personally at 11. Gino has them at 15, and Simon has them at 14. I just think that they're kind of in a tough spot, and I'm not going to punish them too much for losing to a really good Thomas team. Now, Cotty here, surprisingly dropping one spot thanks to Milligan's huge performance here, as they did lose in the KCAC Tournament in the opening round here. Simon keeps them at the 15 spot here, and then Gino is quoted as saying, quote, Cotty ended the regular season on a solid run, but they were bounced right away in the first round of the KCAC Tournament. I think that this team can be a threat in the future if they can start to fix that secondary and QB situation, end quote. Now, in the Cotty game, I did like what I saw kind of early on in the game, but the defensive backs did get worked by the likes of Faith Phillips, by the works of Jalen Harris in that game against Baker, and then they just did not have the offensive production to really follow that up. But I think I liked what I saw from Harris there, going 23 of 31 in that game, completing a lot of passes, making some misreads, but then Karula, they didn't really get their run game going, and so that was a little concerning here. Cotty's duration in the tournament will definitely depend on who else is there, for one, and I'd like to see them get a win, but, this Comets team, they're kind of, they got like 6 wins this year, which is a pretty solid-ish season from this squad. Then we got Point at the 16 spot here, nothing too surprising here, and then at the 17 spot, University of St. Mary's, Gino saying, quote, he said last week that he can't really expect St. Mary's to put up much of a fight against K-Dub, and that was true. And then 18 spot for Florida Memorial, Gino said, quote, only losing by 14 to St. Thomas is a bit surprising, but this season was still a bust for the Lions. I think this 18 ranking is more than fair for them considering everything we have seen from them this past season. Simon said, quote, a close game in the Battle of Miami Gardens is expected, but unfortunately, so is another loss for FMU. This would cap off the second worst season in program history and the worst one since they began. The criticisms of this program are warranted, and right now, the firing of Coach Alvarez looks like a mistake. The pressure should be on if they cannot improve next season. So, for Florida Memorial, I don't really have anything too much else to say. So we're just going to move on to Graceland at 19 and Bethel at 20. So as a full recap from 20 all the way up to 1, that is the Bethel Threshers 20, the Graceland squad here at 19, Florida Memorial at 18, University of St. Mary Spires 17, Point University at 16, Cotty College for the Comets here at 15, Life at 14, Reinhardt 13, Campbellsville 12, Milligan 11 being our biggest riser, jumping up 4 spots, Southwestern 10, Baker 9, Midland 8, Weber 7, and then to round off our top 6, Kansas Wesleyan tied at 4th is St. Thomas and Warner, Ottawa at 3, Thomas 2, and Keiser 1. Thank you for joining us for the power rankings here, and stay tuned because we got our Playmaker of the Week coming up next. And it is going to be our Week 10 Playmaker of the Week brought to you by Code Red Coaching. Visit CodeRedCoaching.com and go ahead and get with Cody Rosenthal as soon as you can. They're also going to be tagged in this post as well. Find him either at 720-979-1914 or once again visit CodeRedCoaching.com and get started with improving your mental performance so that you could be a Playmaker of the Week like this woman here, Madison Carrera. She is her. I tried to think of anybody else who it could be because it always goes to the best player from the winning team in the tournament. And so from the KCAC tournament, Madison Carrera kind of left no doubts here. 20 of 23, 236 yards, and 5 passing touchdowns against Midland. And then in the chip, 24 of 32, 229 yards, and 4 touchdowns, finding Camacho, Spielberg, and Hodgins for touchdowns in that chip. And then in the semifinal, finding Linkus for 3 and Spielberg for 1. Just the way that she spread the wealth over the 2 games, I was thinking maybe we could get a receiver in here, but it was just too well spread out as she finds 8 different targets in one game here, and then in the Midland game gets it to 6 different players here. And so that is going to be Madison Carrera with a combined 9 passing touchdowns over 2 games, and then a combined almost 500 yards of passing, over 450 for sure in her games against Midland and then Kansas Wesleyan. She is very comfortable playing in that big stage, and I think that her bounce back in the second half of the season is going to be integral for Ottawa's national championship chances. But regardless, the Week 10/KCAC Playmaker of the Week is going to be Madison Carrera. Once again, that is brought to you by Code Red Coaching, where the grind to greatness starts with the mind. Visit CodeRedCoaching.com or go ahead and call Cody Rosenthal at 720-979-1914 so you could perform at the highest level and with a high level of strength, just like Madison Carrera of Ottawa University. Now that's going to do it for this episode of the Playmakers Corner podcast. I have been your host, Cody Stauffer, and I encourage you to please look at us at Playmaker Corner on Twitter, where we have fan polls going for all different kinds of awards here, whether that be most valuable playmaker, offensive playmaker, defensive playmaker, newcomer of the year to our best freshman on the collegiate women's level. And we also have coach of the year and then position by position Twitter polls where all of your opinions matter here. We also have a poll involving NAIA F-ball, as well as one of our other flag football insiders, Nate here, who is going to vote along with myself, Gino, and Simon to determine who are our award winners. So go ahead and use your voice as one of the big votes in the poll. That makes 6, and the fan vote has the tiebreaker percentage-wise. So please do go over there, as we already have a ton of voting underway, and go ahead and show your support. Make sure that while you're there that you follow us, as well as find us on Instagram, TikTok, that also has the award graphics here, at Playmakers Corner for both of those. Find this episode and any other episode anywhere you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or YouTube, and make sure that you follow and turn on notifications for any of those as you go along, or go ahead and share us on Facebook as well. We're at their Playmakers Corner. But like I said, I've been your host, Cody Stauffer, for this episode, signing off.